Hi.
Hey!
Hello, and welcome to the Gilded Mimic Network. Welcome to our fourth. Is this our fourth?
Yes.
I think so,
Welcome
yeah.
to our fourth, but technically first Blue Rose stream as an official continuation Blue Rose stream, poorly introduced channel.
Yay!
Yeah, the Blue Rose is continuing. You asked for it, I begged for it, and it appears to be happening.
Yay! Unfortunately, we don't have Brian, but he will be here properly soon.
We don't have Brian. And before we introduce our lovely cast members, I'm going to give a shout out to Bear, who is working diligently and hard in the background, who we won't see or hear for the rest of the session outside of chat, but he is working very hard for us. But I will ask him to move the map down, yeah, like that, so that we can see the lovely forest I put on Roll20. Very good, Bear, thank you.
Yay! That's a point. I need to log into Roll20.
The players aren't even in
There we
Roll20.
go. I'm on Roll20.
Well,
That
just for
forest
that, I
is
think that Carenza can introduce herself first.
Yay! I'm Jess, and I'm playing Carenza, who is something.
Who is
Yeah.
something? She really is something.
Avata?
You are Avata, yes.
Avata, and an adept, which is a magic user. Yeah. I think that's pretty much. I panic and go invisible when I panic.
You can do more than that when you panic.
Well, that's true. I can do other stuff when I panic, but I tend to just be like, I don't want to be here, and go invisible. But otherwise, I'm really cute and bubbly and happy.
That is a very fair assessment.
Mhm.
And alongside Carenza, hanging out on her shoulder most often, we have Micah.
Yay! That is me. I play Micah, who is a Rye Raven, who has no filter and really likes Carenza. It's kind of the Mutual Admiration Society. And when I get tired or I just want to pretend that I'm not actually a Rye, I will hang out on her shoulder or just swoop about and poop on people that I don't like. So yeah, I am black and shiny and generally very upbeat.
Very good description. Black, shiny, and very upbeat. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to write that down as a thing. For future introductions, black, shiny, and very upbeat.
I just reacquainted myself with my character sheet and I saw where I described myself as black and shiny and I was like, oh yeah.
Well, I like it. I like it. And last but not least, we have Ziska. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Anna. I'm playing Ziska. She is a sea folk resident, so she has blue skin, silver hair, but she's also very gifted and skilled at riding horses. She's a warrior, so she's the one who's generally going to be up front hitting things. But for the good, she's not just looking for a fight if she doesn't have to, but she's doing it to make sure everyone else is safe.
Very good. And I am Andrew. I'm your GM. I'm just trying to find one other little thing which I need to put up on the screen for myself for tonight's story. Annoyingly, I'm currently looking for character names from last time, and the first thing I'm getting is a note which has Dilly Dick, DD Dickless. Suddenly I realise I'm on the wrong note. I'm on the enemy page from last time. For which I blame you, Micah.
Well,
Me?
I'm having to wade through dicks to find character names.
I wasn't even here on the last stream, I think.
Oh, you were.
You were
Yes,
on
I
the
was.
last
Oh,
one
yes.
before.
Yeah, no, you
Well, everyone was
right,
here
I
for the last stream.
Yeah.
How come
But
the
that's
dicks
fine.
are
We
Michael?
are also
Because you
missing
named the skeletons.
Sorry?
It's the
Was that
sorry.
in-
Yeah, you
But
named
that
the
was a different
skeletons.
game, wasn't it?
Oh,
No?
we named zombies and ghouls in
And we
Story
named
Squires.
that. Yeah, sorry, I remember now. I do remember. You know what? I'm not even sorry.
No,
Sorry, not
skeletons
sorry.
and zombies, they are very similar, so it's easy to get them mixed up. They might call cultural appropriation on it. I don't know. I don't think zombies and undead care too much if you mix them up, but I'll ask the next zombie or undead I see if they mind about that very much, but I doubt they will.
Yeah, I mean, watch out now on the Discord. There's going to be like a, you know, like a ream of like zombie and skelly comments like coming at us. How dare you?
I don't know.
Just don't fall in the
Generally,
same
I
boat.
heard that in chat, the undead generally seem to lurk. That is-
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
naming of the enemy started here, Discord. On Discord, apparently. Oh no, it did start here, isn't it, on our stream? I don't know. I don't know why we ended up with a Discord link as well. I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a Discord link there. Maybe that's just Bear putting a Discord link up.
Oh,
Generally,
Maybe.
join our
Maybe.
Discord.
Join us on Discord where you can also name
Yeah,
stuff.
join us on Discord.
Yeah.
There's a
And hello
proof
everyone
channel.
in chat. Hello GSD Media. Hello Claire Cat. Hello KRM. Hello Bear. Because you're in chat. I think the rest
Hello,
of
Bear.
them. And Bear said
Hi,
I
Jolly
can see
Roger.
with green, blue roses too. Hey Jolly
Hi.
Roger.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And yeah, the last person we
Have
are
a
missing
vote.
today, sadly, is Brian, who plays Doretis. And just because, you know, even though he's not here, we should still introduce the character for those of you who've not come by before. Doretis is a Varta, like Carenza, a rather old curmudgeon-y. Is curmudgeon-y the right word?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a rather old curmudgeon who is very, very melancholic, but also very poetic, and is something of a diplomat and has been traveling to Aldis in order to fulfill his duty to the crown and take up new diplomatic duties there. And last time, you were all traveling together through the Palvin Weald, looking to get to the city of Aldis. And you there met a boy called Marcus and his rye-bonded wolf, Greymane, who you managed to save from a series of troubles that they were in. And eventually you agreed to help ferry them to the city of Aldis, where they could start new lives after it was made evident to you that Jatos, the boy's father, might have objection to the rye bond that he currently enjoys with Greymane. And so those two are still with you, and Marcus, being a boy of only about 13 and only just coming into adulthood, is currently pretty much your guys' problem. You are quasi-adopting him at the moment until you can
Okay.
find something else for him to do. Until you work out where he needs to go, he is definitely still with you and your problem. So please bear that in mind with decisions that you make.
Great.
So he's
So Marcus
he's basically our
and-
mascot at the moment.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah, essentially. Marcus and Greymane are there. I mean,
Great.
they're not mascots in that they're cheering you on. I mean, they're very grateful for what you did, but they're not there with pom-poms or anything.
Okay.
No, I didn't think so, to be honest. I have to do a proper apology to Greymane, I think.
Oh yes, you do. You did.
Yes, I
offend
do.
her.
I've got an idea for it. Just hope Greymane's up for it.
Okay.
We will have to see. So, but you may as well make that now, because you've been traveling on the road for another few weeks together since
Okay.
then to get to the city of Aldis. So during that time, you've had more time to bond, to get to know each other, to discuss your hopes and aspirations for when you come to the city of Aldis. Unfortunately, along the way, Doretis was summoned by a series of Aldean guards who had rode up ahead to collect him due to some urgent business that was needed, and he was ferried to the city ahead of you, but expressed a wish that when you get to the city, you should call on him and the four of you could reunite again. And his hope is that going to the city ahead of you will mean that he will be able to secure some form of shelter and accommodation for you on your arrival.
That sounds
So
awesome.
in some
Which
respects,
is quite impressive, really, because I'm surprised he can handle Carenza and Micah, to be honest.
yeah,
He's clearly decided he likes us.
he
he
said
must
he would
be,
sort
that's
accommodation
that's
for
his-
you. He didn't say it would be with him.
Oh, that's true. That is a
Wow.
really good point. It might be deliberately to make sure it's not with him.
Yes.
Also, the Aldean guards who came up ahead to ferry him to the city. You have no way of knowing if he somehow used his arcane ability to summon them ahead of time and said, "Oh, please goodness, find me and get me away from these people. I need a break."
Harsh.
That's true, but I'm an optimist, so I
Yeah.
prefer to believe that that's not actually the case.
And I just generally trust everybody, so I'm just going to assume that
Yeah.
he told me the truth.
Besides, Ziska's still here,
Yeah.
and her
Ziska's still
horse
here,
lets me ride on him sometimes, which is quite cool.
which gives my shoulder a break.
Mhm,
Yes, because I am quite large,
Mm.
mhm.
curvy.
As
Raven.
much as the furry cuddles are nice, occasionally I'm like, aching shoulder.
Start listing a bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, in your 3 weeks of travel south to the city, is there anything you want to do? Anything you want to talk about? Do you want to have more conversation with Greymane and Marcus to determine what you're going to do with them later on? I'm going to give you free rein for a moment before I tell you what happens next.
Okay, I'm going to. I think I've been flying at this point, so I kind of come down and I glide alongside Greymane, which takes some doing because flying that slow is actually quite hard. I've had to practice quite a lot to be able to do this, so I can have a conversation with Greymane without having to land on Greymane. So go me. Anyway, so I glide alongside Greymane and say, so I have been Rye for a while, but I haven't been around a lot of people, and I haven't been very good at picking my words. It's not something that comes naturally to me. So I apologize very deeply for calling you Furface. I'm really sorry that I didn't mean it as a bad thing, but I can see that maybe it might have been taken wrong. I'm really sorry.
Greymane her hackles sort of raise a little, but then soften again, and she gives a nod of her muzzle to you and says, "I remember what it was like when I first awakened, and it is strange to have your thoughts and words judged by others in a way that never happens when you are just a regular common beast of the wilds. Your apology is very much accepted."
Aww. Yay!
Thank you so very much. Might I just add that when the molt comes upon you, please let me know if you would like any help grooming to clear out those itchy clumps of fur.
Greymane is a little more touchy about that and says, "I don't really want to think about my molting, thank you. She's rather proud that way, and you get the sense that she does not want to think of her fur getting worse. But winter is
Coming.
in full force at the moment. It was winter the last time you were playing, and 3 weeks in, it is now very frosty on the air, though not snowing where you
Claire
are.
Cat
So
said that's a bit intimate.
yes,
I'm trying to be helpful, god damn it.
Claire Cat speaks for Greymane perfectly. It is a bit intimate.
All right. I'm pretty sure over the few weeks I'm going to be quite enthusiastically motherly I'm actually fairly clueless, but I'm going to still be enthusiastically motherly towards Marcus. And just generally be like, keep checking he's okay and keep checking he's eaten enough and keep being like,
Is he warm enough?
Yeah, are you warm enough?
Okay, Marcus is going to be very grateful for this. He did grow up without a mother in his life and only had his father Gatos, who you might remember was very strict and rigid in his ways. So for the first week or so, he's possibly going to be a little almost scared by this behavior.
Okay.
But
that won't deter me. I won't pick up on it.
Yeah, if you don't pick up on it, that's actually going to play to your advantage. And over the weeks, he's going to settle into this and enjoy it quite a lot. You definitely have strengthened your bond with Marcus there doing that. And this will mean that as you're getting closer to the city now, when you, in fact, I'll leave that for in a minute. Is there anything else going on in the main?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of ease up and go back and land on Karenza's shoulder and just kind of sag a bit and go, I tried. This talking thing and apologies, it's really hard. Words are really hard. How do you word?
Stroke Micah on the back and go, it's okay. It's okay. They just give them a little while. Usually they warm to you anyway. And if they don't, then you just go find someone else that does.
You love me, don't you? You don't mind the fact that I say the wrong thing a lot.
No, I say the wrong thing a lot too, apparently.
Oh, good. I mean, not good, but you know, damn it, I did it again.
Is this a private conversation you're having?
I have no idea.
This is all of Micah's conversations are psychic. So if it's open, then Marcus can add something into this. If it's closed, he can't because he can't hear it. Up to Micah.
I'm going to make it open because, again, Micah has no filter.
Yeah. Marcus, then, being in the unique situation of being bonded to Greymane and having that sort of more intimate psychic connection, will smile at you, Micah, and say, you don't need to worry about her. Greymane actually really likes you. She is just somewhat aloof and finds it hard to talk about certain things. But she does really like you all and is very grateful for all you did for her back at the Watchtower.
Yay! Okay, I'm happy again now.
I think over the couple of weeks traveling, the approach that Ziska is going to take is, having grown up among the residents, it's a very close-knit community and you're meant to look out for each other. So she's going to sort of like be keeping an eye that, Greymane and Marcus's wounds are healing as they need to be. But I think she's also quite excited to have like a ride in like another ride in the party. So she's probably going to be trying to not be like overzealous, but like, be, because the residents treat them quite reverentially, but, trying to use the opportunity when Greymane seems open to sort of like talking about her life as a orphan since becoming awake and trying to find out more. But I think as well, because she's done a fair amount of traveling and met a lot of people from different things, and sensing that Jatos perhaps hadn't allowed Marcus the opportunity to think too much for himself and be free in like what he thinks he's good at, his interests and things like that, she'd probably make the effort to actually strike up with Marcus and say, well, you're coming to Aldous to start a new life, you're looking for work, what are you good at, you need to be, because I'm looking for work, and trying to think of ways that how he could, make himself more employable, or, what things he might want to go and explore, whether she perhaps has met anyone who might be in Aldous at the time who she could point him in the right direction to give him a hand or things like that, just so he feels not so overwhelmed and that he can get a handle on it, and it perhaps won't seem quite so, he won't be so freaked out when they get there, as it were.
So basically, I've tried to mother him in not very helpful ways, and you've actually properly mothered him.
Well, we'll see.
More mentoring him, I think. I think Ziska's more of a mentor kind
yeah,
of
that's true.
thing.
Yeah, so Marcus then, to that sort of series of questioning, will seem slightly downhearted, and he'll try and evade the question for a while, but you've got a long time on the road, so eventually he will sort of break into fact and say that actually I don't think I have many skills which will matter much in Aldous, not in the capital. On our small sort of village, everyone was required to either work for farms or work the land in some way or do hunting in the forests. I was just coming into my first season of being able to do that, but well, you saw what a mess I made trying to survive even a couple of days in the wild. I don't think it's the kind of life that's made for me, but I can't read, I can't write. That's something which has never been taught to me. I know a lot of the scripture from Jarzoni, but I don't really have any interest in becoming part of the priesthood or returning to Jarzon as my father would have wanted. So I don't really know what is there for me. I have heard that Aldis and the capital has a lot of good schools there, but whether any will take me in at my late age and whether I can catch up on my education, I do not know.
Do any of us read? Does
I'm
Ziska
reading
read?
right.
Of all of you, I mean, if you want to convince me with your backstories, I would say Corenza should definitely be able to read. She's from Jarzon and was in the priesthood for a while. Durettis obviously can read, but he's not here right
I
now.
have a feeling that Durettis, for while he would have been with the party, would have taught Marcus to read and write, or begun to.
Yeah, I would say he would have begun to. He wouldn't have been able to, because you're on the road and traveling and there's not much in the way of pen and paper and just sort of the time it takes to learn to read and write. I won't be able to accept that he's completely learned, but I do agree Durettis would have begun the teaching, probably with a very sort of long thing of, oh, the ability not to put your words out as one may. And though your youthful words are not yet important to the world, one day they might be. So I will teach you now, even though you might not enjoy it as you will in later years.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
That sounds like Durettis, yeah.
Very good
And I think
inflection there.
I will have been kind of keeping company with this because I'm actually quite curious about the whole reading and writing thing.
Would you like to learn to read and write as well?
I would very much like to learn to read and write as well. And also, I think
I totally teach her. I totally teach.
Maybe at the beginning, Marcus was kind of keen, but not so keen to make it so obvious that he didn't know how to read and write. So I think I would have probably have been quite enthusiastic, like, well, I'd like to learn to read and write, without necessarily realizing that this would encourage Marcus as well as not the only non-reader / writer who wanted to be a reader-writer. So
yeah, your enthusiasm would definitely spur him on, and the knowledge that he is not alone in this and doesn't have to feel so sort of singled out as the only person not able to read or write there, that will fuel him to better himself. So yeah, while Durettis is there, he is able to teach you a little bit. It will be a number of months before I would say either of you are proficient enough to actually read to any great degree, but I'll certainly keep that in mind as you level up and as sessions go on. And as long as you keep on with that path, I will say at some point you can add that to your...
I'm thinking that in the evenings, because we would have started with letters, we can practice the letters because I can scratch them in the dirt with my beak.
We'll pick up
I can write. Beak. Sorry?
We'll pick up like a stick or a pen in your beak and write with it. I'd
probably start with my beak because that's more easily controlled than a tool. But later, eventually, one day I will be able to hold a pen in my claw and write, and it will probably look like a drunken spider dancing across the paper, but I will do it because I can.
Yes.
That is a great dream. I am adding that to your list of things that you are going to do. That goals now is to learn to read and write.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I reckon we practice our letters in the evening, and he draws things in the dirt with his finger or a stick or whatever, and I draw them with my beak. And then Ziska and Corenza tell us if we're right or not.
Greymane will approve of this as well, and that will, because Greymane is always by Marcus's side because of the Rybond, Greymane will also learn to read and write here as well. So she is also appreciative of what's going on here, and this also furthers your ability, Micah, to bond with Greymane and get a little bit of rapport with her as well. So that is roughly what fills your time for the next few weeks traveling south. And at one point along the way, unfortunately, Durettis is called to ride ahead by a group of
unfortunate in Durettis' mind. Oh, whoa, I must leave you.
I mean, Ziska is a bit annoyed because I think she was hoping he was going to be a ticket to get some work. Hey, look, I helped out this diplomat. So inside she's like hoping that he's in. Yeah, so I'm hoping his invitation
Yay!
is genuine, helping us out so she can cross paths with him again in case she struggles to find work to say, oh, well, I helped this guy, I helped this guy. Yeah, I could help you.
Reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, you still
Durettis,
might.
again, I don't presume to speak for Brian fully, so I'm being a bit guarded here, but I'm going to assume if Brian wants to remain part of this group into the future, which I very much hope he does, he is not trying to con you all and run away. All hope that we see him again when you guys finally arrive at the city. However, your actions over the last 3 weeks have led to something, and as you reach the edge of the Palvin Weald, and as the landscape before you changes to rolling hills and more stunning farmland, and with the city, the golden jewel of the world, seen just from far off, Marcus, you can tell, is looking a little forlorn, a little bit fidgety in his seat, and Greymane is there just sort of nudging into his shoulder a bit. And after a while, he finally sort of looks to Carenza and sort of scooches in close and says, I know this is asking a lot. I know you guys only promised to get me to the city, but would you be willing to adopt me into your household fully? Would you? I feel I'd be better with you guys than at one of the schools.
I would just literally throw my arms around him and say, you can always stay with us.
And I'm gonna reach down to my chest, and I don't know if this is a thing, but it is now, and pull out a feather, and I'm gonna hand him a feather and say, my wings are yours.
Oh. And then I'm gonna look to Ziska just to check we have approval for this, because I'm gonna kind of feel like Ziska's in charge while Durettis is away.
Yes.
Like, is this sort of like going to be? She's sort of like going to feel like sort of like feeling that she's in charge, but also it's strange because she's not usually allowed to be in charge. So she's sort of like, they're looking at me. Why are they looking at me? Oh, right, okay, I've got to actually make a decision about this now. So she had I think that should be fine, Marcus, but obviously it's going to be in your interest that we continue with your learning and try to improve your skills in some way, because that's going to benefit you in the long run, and you've got hopes and dreams even if you're not quite sure what they are at the moment. So stick with us for as long as you'd like to, but there's a man in there growing, and we want to help you to become the man you want to be. Okay.
Oh yes, I definitely don't want to be any kind of mooch or just live off your guys' support or anything. I want to be the best person I can be. I want to be great like you people, and I want to help others as you do, but I just don't want to go to one of the Aldin boarding houses and just be pigeonholed into some school and class of people I don't know. Our community in the Palvin Weald, it's a very close-knit group, and we don't normally see outsiders much. I suppose we just cling to whoever's familiar, and all of you, and Marcus sort of looks between you all with a shy smile. It's like, you feel familiar to me now.
Thanks, Jim and Bear. Thanks, Jolly Roger.
Yay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of jump up and down and flap my wings a bit and go, yay, more reading.
I'm just gonna keep one arm around him and be like, yeah, family now.
And then I'm gonna fly up to Carenza's shoulder and give her a feather as well.
Yay, thank you for the bits, Jolly Roger.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna basically have a little group hug.
Yeah.
I'll be like, and then I'm gonna, Charla, come on, you two, bring it in.
I wish I could actually make this a thing, but I've got sort of a list of events sort of on my notepad on my screen here. I don't know how to share it, but I've just put under sort of life events for the party, Marcus and Greymane equals family.
Yay! And then I'm going to go up to Ziska and land on Ziska's shoulder, and I'm going to do a private psychic thing to her, saying, did I give you one of my feathers yet? Because I want to give you one of my feathers, but I don't know if your ways are weird about feathers. I'm trying to develop a bit of a filter here. I don't want to make assumptions.
A couple of weeks ago, you did give me a feather. Thank you, Micah. But you know, if you wish to give me another one, provided it's not going to impact your ability to fly, then I will gladly accept another. Where I'm from, we greatly value the riding. So you know, it's just a pleasure and an honour to be in the company of both you and Greymane.
Thank you. It's nice to be in the company of people who aren't trying to kill me. But no, that's fine. That the feather means that I consider us family. I just wanted to make sure that you knew I considered you family as well.
Oh,
Do I
thank
have
you.
a feather yet?
I just gave you one, dear heart. I
Oh, I
landed
thought you
on
gave
your
it to
shoulder and
Marcus.
gave
I thought you
you.
gave it to Marcus. Okay, no, okay.
Oh.
Oh, I
Yay!
gave Marcus one, and then I landed on your shoulder and gave you a feather
Okay, I
as
missed
well.
that bit. Okay, I have a feather.
Yeah.
Greymane
Good.
have a feather.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure
Okay.
Greymane wanted a feather.
Oh.
You could always
I
ask.
shall. How about I shall? In fact, at this point, I can't not, can I? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna glide next. I'm gonna go and stand next to Greymane and say, Greymane, I would be actually. I'm gonna take a feather out. I'm gonna say, Greymane, I would be very honoured if you would accept a feather, one of my feathers, as an indication of how we are now family.
Greymane will give a very sort of regal nod at this and says, I can't give you anything of myself that's worth much other than my nail clippings. It's about the only thing I can pull off that's easy to hand. But to honor our being family, I will promise never to eat the carcass of any raven again.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you
quite
very
a
much.
promise.
That means a lot. Thank you very much. I
I
promise
may
to
still
always.
eat
I promise to always fight by your side, never against you.
Oh,
crow.
this is a very heartfelt trip.
I kind of
I
don't want to get
know.
to the next bit now. We might end up just
Yeah.
on the road for the rest of this session. And then
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like Ziska's slightly like it's nice, like, but she's feeling a little bit mixed. I mean, she's not sharing it, but she is feeling quite mixed because she's mixed heritage. She's had quite say an unconventional upbringing, and trying to feel she truly belongs somewhere has been a big thing for her to suddenly, you know, just be with this group for a couple of weeks and they're already describing themselves as family. She's thinking, well, it's nice. I hope that this could be somewhere where I can fully be me and accepted for me, because that's not something that's actually happened for her fully yet. So she's not quite sure. She's processing it, but you know, just it's all kind of going on in here.
well,
And I'm
Just give us
I'm
a while.
going
We'll
to,
wear you down.
yeah. I'm gonna have a private psychic moment with Charla and ask if Charla would like a feather. If Charla considers herself part of the group.
Charlie's gonna sort of like, you know, I'm kind of like nod her head up and down.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to land on Charla's withers and say to Ziska, I did ask, and then I'm going to get one of my feathers and braid it into her mane.
I'm so glad you did that, because if you weren't going to, I was going to do it.
Yay!
aw.
So now we are all Rye Raven bound, in a manner of speaking, as bound as you can get without actually being bonded.
And just as you're doing that, just as you manage to firmly secure your feather in place, you, Ziska, are suddenly aware of a figure coming out from the road to your right, and it is a woman in plain farmer's clothes who is running out towards the road, arms waving wildly. She's just come out from a hedgerow, so that's why you've only just seen her at the last minute, and she runs right into the path in front of you, and it is clear if you continue on your way, you will run her over. Would you like to run her over?
So I'm actually on Charla at the moment. I didn't know. I thought I was walking her, but
I thought
that's
we were
that's
moving.
fine. I'm certainly not planning on.
It'll just be a lot slower.
I'd like to think that her actions would garner enough attention so that we'd slow our pace and give her the due attention. I mean, like, how is her expression? You know, like, does she look distressed, angry, frightened?
I'll say as an
Carrying
aside, you threw me then the moment you said garner her attention. I was like,
Oh,
I
sorry.
got it." And I was like, oh, she changed my head then. I was suddenly in the pyramid for a moment. I was like,
no. Sorry.
who do I need to kill?
No.
So the woman, once she's sure she's flagged you down, comes huffing over to you. She is a slightly older woman, just sort of passing the prime of youth, the first few greys coming into her hair, and she's saying, please, have you seen a boy? Have you seen a boy and maybe a pig pass by here?
I'm assuming we haven't.
I would have noticed a pig, I have to admit.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen a boy except for Marcus, and Marcus is still here and has been the whole time, so I don't think that's who she's talking about.
No.
I can confirm that none of you have any knowledge of having seen a boy or a pig pass this way.
Okay. And we'll be like, no, but do you need help? We're good at helping people.
She's going to look at you a little sort of raised eyebrow at sort of the instant plea for help, and she's going to look you up and down and says, Are you part of the Aldian Watch? Are you members of the Sovereign's Finest?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Aspirant.
Our diplomat person that is working for the Albion government went on ahead.
That's good enough for me. I guess I just need the help. I'm looking for my son. We've already sent other people to find the City Watch, but they don't come out to these farther parts as often as they could, so I fear it will be some time. I'm looking for my boy, Aaron. The pig's name is Wilhelmina.
Aaron and Wilhelmina. That's a great name for a pig. Where did you last see them?
And I'm gonna ask Carenza and say, ask if they're rye bonded. Why does she think they're together?
And are they rye bonded? Why are they together?
We honestly don't know. The woman puts her hand to her head and then just sort of takes several deep breaths. It's clear she's been running for quite a while, and she beckons you over to the side of a path where she just takes a fatigued sit on the ground before you and just sort of pretty much talks into her feet as she tries to tell you the whole thing. I'm Faldin. I'm the grand dame of a farm just up the road there. And Aaron is my grandson. We are pig herders, we're pig farmers. And about a week ago, we were preparing to put the pigs to slaughter. We send their meat down to the markets in Aldis when one of the pigs, or maybe several of them, screamed no at the farmhands, and obviously we immediately thought, oh, there's an awakening rye here. So of course we followed the law and we postponed the slaughter. We started interviewing the pigs one at a time to see if any of them showed.
Sorry, that's just
Not the sentence you expected. I have met a rye pig.
pigs to try and find out which one's a rye pig.
To Aldis. This is why I love the Blue Rose. And to you people, well, I guess to you actually, the interviewing of pigs would be kind of strange because you do come from Jarzon, which doesn't deal with rye very much. So
Yeah,
you are.
that's just I'm finding that kind of funny, but I will hide my laughter. I'm just about sensitive enough that I don't laugh.
Yeah, her child is missing. I think any laughter to this story is going to.
It is not going to land very well.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I've
Bears
managed
just
to
said
get-
any of the pigs called Babe.
I don't know. Bear can try calling one of the pigs Babe and see if that flirtation attempts work. Does he have those?
I'm still
What
on
charisma,
Charlotte
Bear?
Waters
See if
and just
calling a pig
managing.
Babe works for you.
I'm quite glad that my beak doesn't lend itself to, you know, kind of snigger faces, because it's the only thing saving me from embarrassing us all right now.
Right, okay. I mean, sorry, yeah. Interviewing pigs. Carry on from there.
Yes, we interview the pigs one at a time. We asked them if they were awakening or if they knew their names or anything. Most of them said oink. A few of them rolled around, and we didn't immediately see any who could be awakened. But of course, the awakening process, it is a mystical thing and quite different. So we've been keeping an eye on things and just seeing where it goes. We still haven't put any of the pigs to slaughter yet, and we're just waiting to see if any of them awaken. But then just last night, we don't know what happened, but we awoke in the morning and Aaron was gone, and Wilhelmina, a pig who he's always been close to Wilhelmina ever since she was a little piglet. They were just gone and vanished, and we haven't seen them since. And at that, Marcus and Greymane are going to look to each other and think that this sounds quite familiar. And Marcus is going to lean over in the where he is, and just, he's a bit shy because he's not really been an adventurer or anything before, but he's going to say, this sounds like something that we should look into. You helped me massively when I was first bonded with Greymane. I know I can't say what you people should do, but I feel like we should help this woman.
I'm going to speak psychically to Carenza, and well, actually to all of them, not
Falden.
Not her, but the others, and say it may be that Greymane's nose could help us track the pig. I can search from the sky, but Greymane could give us the direction to search in. If Greymane is up for that.
Greymane is going to nod at this sagely, and she's going to again privately communicate to the three of you and Marcus that I have not smelt anything quite so tasty as a pig running around these parts. If they have left the farm, they've clearly gone down another road to this.
Sounds like we should head to the farm then and see if we can work out which way they went from there.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think Ziska would be asking. Well, I think she'd offer Falden some water, because she's clearly been running around for a long time, and if we're walking back to the farm, she's going to need something to keep her going. And then I think she's sort of like going to be trying to find out like what Aaron and Wilhelmina look like. Do they have any distinctive features? Because obviously a pig's a pig. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna take off from Chala's neck and glide down, and just kind of. This lady is obviously okay with Rye, since she delayed slaughtering her entire herd of pigs on the chance that one of them was Rye. So I'm gonna just kind of nudge against her hand and try and comfort her a bit, because obviously she's upset, and I know what it's like when, you know, everything that's normal suddenly gets upended for whatever reason. So.
Yeah, she's going to give a forlorn smile at that and sort of stroke your head for a moment, and then sort of bristle up and be like, no, there's no time for sentimentality. We need to get back and find my grandson. I'll show you the way. And then she gets up very hastily and sort of shuffles off, and you're left with the impression that she's not rejecting your comfort. She's just business.
She doesn't want to break down, and she doesn't. If she gives herself a moment to feel, she's
breaking down is not an option right now for her. She needs to find her grandson, and Marcus will whisper to Carenza that Aaron should consider himself lucky that he has family who are so caring for him as to want him and his bonded companion with him.
So I'm going to take off and just glide overhead for now, since I don't know where we're looking. I think I'm going to go up to a reasonably high altitude. I can still talk to the guys, so maybe just a few hundred feet, and just kind of look around and see if I see anything.
Okay, you do see the farm that Falden spoke of way off in the distance. You can see the road and other travellers upon it. It's obviously much busier than it was when you were in the Palvin Weald. You're close to the capital now, so there's a lot of traffic going around at all times. But from your vantage point, you do not see anything that seems like a pig and a boy walking together.
Cool.
So you are travelling to the farm, yes?
Yes.
Then let us move you to here again. No, to here. There you go. Have you all moved?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hey,
Cabin in the woods.
Stockinsert farm house. Ish.
Mhm.
So, Faldin's farm is located on the southern end of a swathe of farms and cultivated land south of the city of Aldis and the Rose River. Because the farm deals primarily with livestock, it is located on the outer edge of the area. The farm itself actually consists of a small collection of buildings, farmhouses, barns, pens for livestock, sheds, and the like, making it almost a tiny village, complete with multiple families as well as single hands and employees. Compared to the city itself, the farm is fairly rustic and more like the Aldean villages of the Central Valleys. There is well water, but also outhouses and, exciting for some of you, minimal plumbing, which is not something seen greatly in the Palvin Wealds and outside of the city. So plumbing is a big deal. But
Okay.
the lanterns you notice are oil lanterns and not the arcane street lights, which are, you know, or I've heard, are indicative of the main city.
Okay. So we're starting to kind of get upgraded slightly, but we're not all the way there yet.
You're not all the way there yet. You're not in Bright Lights big city, but you are definitely
Not quite suburbia, but not
Yeah.
entirely right. So it's kind
Yeah.
of Sussex rather than Middlesex.
People in Sussex feel good. You have plumbing. Yeah. You're in Sussex, and Sussex has plumbing. So on your arrival at the farm, Falden is obviously willing to give you anything you need, and she says that as she approaches, you see several people already running up to you, and they seem grateful for your presence immediately. Falden offers to introduce you to everyone important on the farm and says you basically have free reign to investigate or do whatever you need to find her grandchild and Wilhelmina.
Okay.
That's good.
I think helpful things would be if we're hoping to have Greymane tracking, is if we could get something with Aaron's scent on, see if she can pick up on that. Because if she
I think
can't
we
smell
might
it,
have more luck tracking him than the pig,
pig,
certainly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then trying to find out perhaps if Aaron was particularly friendly with anyone on the farms who might have a bit more intel, whether they know if there's any particular places they travel to, any like secret places they go if they wanted to have time by themselves and things like that. So, and have those areas been checked yet? So you don't want to cover ground that people have already done, because that might just cause a lot of frustration and things like that. I think that's
Okay,
just
would
small.
you like to start with the people then, or would you like to go straight to the room and searching for something of his to follow a scent trail?
I'd probably, I mean, Ziska's grown up in a society where the young people are encouraged to be quite independent from a young age. So she'd probably look to Marcus, and because Greymane is his companion. I said,
Marcus
what-
is your adopted son now. You're Aaron.
yeah, so I probably turned to him and said, and look at the pair of them and say, we need to get Aaron's scent. Can you please go to his room and get something with his scent on, so we've got a good chance of tracking him at the earliest opportunity.
Of all
I'm
of us
going
to send, Marcus is definitely the best one to send.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm going to like give him a job to do. I'm trusting him and Greymane with this job, hoping that's going to bolster his confidence a bit, that he's got something to offer in this situation. And then I'm probably going to try and find out, like, if you talk to some friends, or find out where he might be, and have they checked the places he could be? Is there any way that we don't
so
know that
Marcus
friends
and Greymane are sent off to search the room for something of Aaron's to help find him, and the rest of you are going to learn about the people on the farm, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Presumably, I mean, is this a thing that you think I can do? I mean, I guess these people are all fairly Rye friendly, or at
This
least
close
Rye
to the
respectful.
You are in the capital now. You're well away from the Palvin Weald. This part of the country, again, you're fairly new to being a Rye, but all the stories that you've heard of Aldous and the capital of it being a very inclusive city. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is valued and understood.
In which
Rye
case, why don't I just go and talk to the pigs?
you can, but if they're not Rye, then they will.
Well, I
only
know, but if my point being, if there are any
If there's
Rye
a
there,
Rye,
I'll be
you can
able to
find
talk
it.
to them.
That is a really good idea.
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay.
You guys talk to the humans, and I'll go talk to the pigs.
All right, I
That
will go
sounds
with Ziska to talk to the humans.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be feeling a little bit lost and out of my depth because this got serious.
Okay, so let's start one at a time here, and we'll start with you first of all, Micah. So you fly over to the pig pen, and it's from the air. It's easy enough for you to find all these places yourselves. And as soon as you explain yourself to the other labourers there, they'll help you out with talking to the pigs. And are you just going to try and attempt psychic conversation with them one at a time?
That seems logical, although I'm not sure that I'm going to be great at identifying which pigs I've already talked to. Although as an animal, I think I will. I'll be able to recognise individuals. So,
well, they're late. I mean, I would almost argue maybe that as a raven, you're probably more adept at recognising differences in other ravens than other pigs, same as
yeah.
Humans versus not humans kind of thing.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'd say you don't have a thing with that. But as I said, there are labourers nearby, and unlike before in the Palvin Weald, you're not really under any compulsion to hide that you arrive from them. So if you wanted help in separating the pigs,
That would be a good idea, I think. So I'm gonna kind of hop along the fence to the nearest labourer and talk to him. Actually, talk, and say, "Help, please. Can we talk?" And then I'm gonna.
You can enter my mind by all means.
There we go. I didn't want to assume. So and I'm going to say that. So thanks a lot, my friend. I didn't want to assume. Could you help me with separating out the pigs so that I can talk to them one by one and see if there are any Rye? But I don't think I'm going to be able to recognize them that well. So if you could help me out, that would be great, please.
Of course. Does this mean that Faldin found people to help? Well, not people. I mean, Rye. Good raven.
I'm one of the group. There are other humans in the group also. They've gone to talk to the other humans. In fact, they'll probably be
Ziska's not human.
Am I frozen or is someone else
talk to
frozen?
me
I'm half.
while we're doing pig things.
Am I still here?
Yeah,
We
you
can
are.
hear you.
Okay.
Sometimes you cut
everything
out.
got a bit garbled then for a minute. Everything just sort of everyone started speaking at once. It paused for a second, and I got all your speech, everyone's speech together in one bundle.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened then.
That was weird.
Micah said something about we have other humans, and I was corrected her and be like, technically Ziska's not human.
Oh,
I'm mixed ethnicity.
Yeah.
And also, Carenza is a Varta, so
Yeah. Oh, is that
actually
not
there are
human
no
either?
humans.
There are no
There
humans.
are no
Right.
humans.
Okay. There are other people in the group.
There we go.
So yes.
Other bipeds.
Okay. So yeah, the bipedal says.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to be using that word. I don't think Mike
Yeah.
is quite educated enough to go that far.
Other people.
We will get there.
It feels a bit de-peopleizing as well. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, I'm bipedal.
That's
I
true.
have 2 legs.
True. Very true.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Okay.
you can't class Greymane under bipedal, so
No. Well, I didn't want to advertise necessarily that Greymane is Rye, although it's probably pretty obvious. But that's not my business to be spreading around. We brought a wolf into your village. Yeah, no. So,
yeah.
I'm
Well,
just saying there are others in the group, other people.
okay. So the workers at the pen will help you in separating the pigs out, and as they go, they obviously have their own words to throw in, and one of them just happens to mention to you, oh, if you ask me, I think that Aaron was maybe taken by one of them roamers. They were passing through just the other day. I saw one of their caravans searching down the road late at night when I was going out for a piss.
I'm gonna think to Karenza and Ziska. Apparently there are some traveling folk in the area. You might want to ask around about that.
You're too far out for that at the moment, but when you get
Okay.
back, we can say that will be a thing that you can say.
In which case, I'll say to the people, oh, so do you get a lot of those coming through here?
Well, you get strange folk coming through all the time. This is Aldous. There's always people coming through, but those roamers, they can't be trusted. They're always looking out for Rye, always doing their strange witchy things. Anyway, let's start getting these pigs through, and one at a time you get a pig brought to you, and you are able to interrogate the pig as you will, and then when you're done, you can give a nod to the worker and they'll section that pig off away from the others, so you know that you've been through them all.
Right. Oh, you went. All right, yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Okay. So you just psychically communicating with them all, or are you just going to try and beam a message to each one and see what happens?
I guess. I mean, I don't have much experience talking to Rye when I'm not sure if they're Rye or not, but yeah, I think I'm going to try and do psychicness. I don't really know how it all works just yet.
Okay, so
I'm going to say good
let's just
morning.
look at your character sheet a minute, because I do want to check one thing about you, because I know. Come on, character sheet. Come up.
Character. Communication. +2.
I'm actually looking at your powers a second. So you've got
Oh, right.
sidestep, thievery. Where are your? Oh, Arcana is where I'm looking. Psychic contact. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's reminded me of what I need to know. So.
Oh, right. So does that mean I can detect? Can I detect Rye?
You can detect, because if you've got psychic contact person, that means you can detect anything which is properly intelligent based. So other Rye, yes, and people, yes, but you don't have the animism version of the talent, which would allow you to talk directly to animals, or at least interpret their mood. One of you does, because I know you did it to the bear. I think Karenza has that.
Duretis?
Yeah.
I think both Duretis and I have it.
You're both Vata?
What am I looking for?
Powers.
Animism?
Arcana. Sorry, psychic contact, I think.
Yeah, you have psychic. Here we go. Here's what makes it different. Karenza has psychic contact animism as opposed to psychic contact psychic. So her contact is between her mind and the mind of an animal.
Yeah, I can only do it with
So
animals.
actually, Karenza was better suited for this task, not me.
I didn't realise
I am willing, because we're still learning our characters and our things, I'm willing to sort of say that Karenza went with you if Karenza wants to have gone with.
Yeah, if I'd realised that I could do it, I would have gone with Micah.
Yeah, and you would have known, like, you're a bit airheaded, but you know your own capabilities.
Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, so you can do the questioning together. Oh, hi, another unique.
Thanks, another unique.
Yay.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's awesome.
I love how another unique doesn't even say hello. Like, I mean, you're saying hello now, but it's straight away. It's like, gifted to you, what's up? Another unique is in the room.
It is quite
It's like somebody who arrives at a party and just kicks the door down and goes, yo.
Got a keg, people.
But with a keg,
Have
they kick the
beer.
door down. It's like, here's the beer.
It is great to see you, another unique. Welcome.
Yeah, we're doing great.
We are
We are doing great.
rescuing.
You've adopted people. You've
would-
got an
yes,
adopted
yes,
family now.
yeah.
This is it. I am enjoying this session no end.
We've had a group
Um,
hug. We've adopted somebody, and now we're looking
With a
for someone
horse.
else that's missing.
And you're
Yes.
interrogating pigs.
Yes,
We're
we're
interrogating
trying
pigs
to.
mentally. Well,
Mentally
I think I
interrogating
am.
pigs.
Yes, mentally interrogating pigs.
Yeah. So, and obviously with the animism perk about, you don't actually get to talk to the pigs. Like they don't have a language. You just
Yeah.
sense their moods.
Establish contact between your mind and the mind of an animal, it says. So I'm assuming it's kind of quite vague.
Yeah, because animals themselves don't have a clear speech. You just get more of an opinion on their mood, how they're feeling, and what's going on in their heads. You don't get to actually talk with them because they don't have their own language per se. If that makes sense. So
Stop licking.
Sorry?
Sorry, she was talking to her dog.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm not looking at anything. What the heck? I wasn't aware that I was looking at anything.
No, Micah
Sorry.
just said that to a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop licking, pig. Okay.
Pig
So
tried to lick me.
So while Micah is fending off pigs that are trying to lick it, Carenza, you start investigating the animals one at a time, and it's quite a work because, you know, this is a city farm for Aldis, so there's a lot of pigs to go through. But one at a time, you get the impression that these pigs are interested in wallowing in mud, rooting around for truffles, eating food. The food's been a bit weird, and being out in the fields is fun.
Food's been a bit weird.
Yeah, you get that from a couple of them.
From a couple of them.
Yeah, from of the ones you interrogate and the thoughts that you hear, you get that from about maybe 30% of them.
The food's been a bit weird.
Hmm.
Okay.
But other than
Let's
that,
check.
they are very, very happy pigs.
Okay.
And they are
Okay.
pigs.
Thanks, another unique.
Wow.
Oh, thank
6
you.
months subscription at once. Thank you.
Wow.
Yay. That's awesome. Yeah, sorry. Pigs. Gosh, this is hard.
Pig food.
Would
Pig's food weird.
I think I try and separate them because there's nothing else to go on. I try and separate out the ones that said the food's weird.
That's a good
Okay.
idea.
I'd ask them to separate them
Yeah,
out.
you can try and do that with the work of the other farm hands around. You're going to have to get several other farm hands over, and they will help you with this and separating them, but it's going to take you some more work. And two of the farm hands, Owain and Midge, they're going to go on as well about various things they've seen. One of them says that they saw a cloaked traveler not 2 nights ago passing by the farm and stopping for a conspicuously long time before moving along. And another one goes on about the cult of the Crimson Eye having had roots in this part of the country recently.
Okay. Of the ones that I isolate, I'm gonna try and see if the farmhands recognize whether they're a group that are close to each other or whether they're what else they might have in common.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell them that the food tastes funny. I want to know what if those pigs have anything in common, if they can tell.
Okay. Because it's going to take a while to separate them, I'm going to take this moment to hold you in suspense,
Okay.
and I'm going to go over to Ziska, who I believe is interviewing.
Yeah, so I think you know, Ziska, it can sense this is quite a close-knit community, but they've given the impression they want to help. So I think, you know, she'd probably want to speak to people, like find out who Aaron was particularly close to and see if they're available. And for a private conversation, because you know, particularly if they're people around Aaron's age, I'm not quite sure how old he's meant to be, but you're more likely to tell things to one of your peers than you are necessarily to.
He's younger than Marcus. Aaron is only 9 years old.
Only 9. Okay, so I'd probably try and find out which families he was associating with a lot, and you know which children that he would play with and like learn with and things like this, and see if they'd be willing to have a little chat and, you know, say, hey, do you want to come talk to me and talk to my horse kind of thing, you know, to see if that would build a bit of rapport with them, or even if you're just using charms like a therapy thing, because I'm assuming like any of Aaron's friends are going to be worried. So I said, you know, if you know, come and, you know, groom my horse. You know, I find like if I'm feeling really worried about something, if I give her a good brush, it helps me to feel nice and calm and helps me think a bit clearer. So so if any of the children were feeling perhaps a little bit distressed, hopefully doing sort of some like repetitive like grooming might, you know, ease them a little bit and perhaps make them a bit more willing to chat about what they might know.
Okay, so straight away, your whole gambit with the horse, you kind of realize quite quickly isn't really paying off for you. This is a working farm and they see animals every single day, so they're not going to be particularly fussed or interested in petting your horse, as wonderful and gallant a creature as it is. But from the people you've talked to so far, you will have a few people who you've been allowed to meet immediately. So Falden you already own. You don't own Falden. Falden you already know, and Falden is the owner and grand dame of the farm. A mature woman who has owned and run the farm for decades with the assistance of 2 partners, both now deceased. You get the impression from her that she's a conscientious citizen and a loyal supporter of the sovereign, and from what you've seen of her before on the road, she's a very no-nonsense business person with little time for pretense, and you get the impression that her family is very important to her.
Okay.
She will then introduce you to Rian, who is her daughter and Aaron's mother. And Rian, I'm just going to sort of skip through what you've learned a little bit here, just seeing as the party's split at the moment. You would learn from Rian that she's learning all of the business of running the farm from her mother at the moment, and in recent years she's had to be more preoccupied with learning to take over the farm when Falden inevitably rejoins the great dance, and so she's not had as much time for her son as she would recently, now that he's older and more independent. You get the impression from her that she, in fact, I will make you roll for your impressions of her. So can you make, because that is a little different to just sort of the surface details. So Ziska, can you make some kind of check?
Any check.
Either make a perception or communications check.
I'll go with communication, please. I've got a slightly higher stat. Right, okay, I've clicked the thing. Has it done something? Okay. Nope,
so that's 10. Yeah, okay. So you get the impression that Rian, from the way she's talking to you and the way she's opening up and the way she acts around other farm hands with things, she seems quite kind and empathic. You realize that she's a herbalist as well, because a few people who come over to her with sores and scratches from their work, she keeps telling them where various things can be found, because the farm is still running even though Aaron is missing at the moment. But you do get the sense that her greatest concern right now is for Aaron's safety. Whenever anyone comes over with anything, as much as she's willing to help them, and that shows testament to her kindness, she's always eager to get back to you. And throughout your questioning, you probably find that she's bothering you quite a bit. Like anytime you're talking to anyone else, she's like, is there anything else I can do for you? Would some food help you to build strength for your search? Can I get some people together and you can form a search party, she's going to be really
Keen.
she's going to be really keen. You get the definite impression that she will do anything you ask to get her son back. But you find that the one thing that is tempering her slightly and reminding her not to get in your way too much is Elaine, her husband,
Oh,
and
dear.
Aaron's father.
So where's the men?
Elaine is a man.
Yes.
Sorry, did you say where's the men? Or...
No,
No,
I
it's
said it's always
always-
the men.
Oh, right, okay.
Last time it was a problematic man. Now it's a problematic man.
Okay, so Elaine is Rian's husband and Aaron's father. He manages a great deal of work on the farm, particularly he manages the hands and hired help. From talking to him, he has quite a charming and personable nature. When he recommends Rian to give you a bit of space, he does so in a very sort of polite way and says, you need to let these fine detectives think a little from time to time. I'm sure when they need anything, they will tell us what we need and we'll be here waiting. We're not going to go anywhere. You also get the sense from the way he talks, he loves his son very much, and he's also, as much as he doesn't want to bother you with his thoughts or suggestions, he is obviously twitching and ready at the drop of a hat to do anything you want. He's just slightly less vocal about it.
My bad. So he's not problematic. He's not another Jatos.
That you know of. This could be a very elaborate ruse.
Yeah. I think so. It's mainly those three I've been dealing with then.
Well, they also say the only, if you I'm guessing part of you's asking here, is there anyone else important to talk to?
Well, yeah, like who Aaron would consider important, who might know
so
something.
They would say the only other really important people on the farm who might be worth talking to, who might know something, is Jorah, the farm's smith and farrier, and she is a night person who you will find near the smithy, and Silas, who's kind of underneath Elaine as sort of head farm hand and has quite a few responsibilities. And Jorah, when she's mentioned, Elaine is able to point straight to where Jorah is working, but when he mentions Silas, he does have to look around a bit and go, oh, I'm actually not quite sure where Silas is right now. And but eventually you see Silas stepping out from behind one of the barns, and he's sort of just looking a bit sort of lost. He's running his hands through his hair a fair bit, but quite a few people are looking a little sort of distraught by this. But you would, even without a test, you'd get a sense that he looks quite shaken by what's happened.
Oh,
Right. Okay. But as far as I know, he's just someone in the community. He's not like an extended family. He's not like an uncle or a cousin or.
No, there's no other immediate family members too.
Okay. Okay. I'd probably. Well, I mean, as I'm, it could be a bit of advice, but like I might notice the difference in approach between Rian and Elaine, and sort of, if Rian's a bit too forthcoming and he isn't, I might just sort of try and get something a little bit more out of Elaine, because he clearly loves his son, and the bond between a father and a son can be very precious indeed. So is there are there any special adventures you've been on together, any secret hideouts that you play games where if he felt that he wanted to feel safe, or that someone will go to look for him that haven't been checked already? It'd be really helpful to know to bring the search party to those places.
The only place where Aaron would go away to think, or the only place where he would sort of sequester himself to be with his own thoughts is near the pig pens with Wilhelmina. That's where he spends his time when he wants to be alone. We had to wean him off that recently. Silas gave very sound counsel about the matter when it came close to the time for the pigs to be brought to slaughter, and suggested that we try and keep Alan away from the barn and pig pen to try and ease the blow when it came to the culling season. So he hasn't been there as much recently. Good grief, I hope that's not a reason why he ran away.
Okay, thank you. So then I think seeing that Silas is clearly looking perhaps a bit more distraught than you might expect just a member of the community to be. You know, I'm going to sort of head across to him and say, hello, Elaine. I'm just been speaking with Elaine. Sorry, I'm Ziska. I've been asked by Faldin to try and help Aaron. I understand from Elaine that you've been trying to help Aaron recently with his relationship with Wilhelmina and trying to prepare for the culling season. You seem to be looking at quite tense. Wondering if you could help me out to put me in the right direction, how we can help find Aaron as quickly as possible.
Helping? Oh yes, helping Aaron. Yes, right. Yeah, I did say to Elaine that he needed to get the boy away from the pig pens. I mean, I know what it was like when I was a kid. You know, you form a special bond with a chicken or something, and then suddenly it ends up on your dinner plate, and if you don't break that bond before the culling season, well, you don't know. I'm sorry, what are your friends doing over there with the pigs?
Ziska is going to look across at what Carenza and Micah are doing. If I am strictly honest, I do not know. We have been working in different places, but I'm sure whatever they're doing is relevant to trying to help with what's going on. We were told by Faldin that the community believes there could be a Rye awakening within the pigs, so it could be related to that.
Oh, they're just checking to see if it's a awakened Rye. Well, we've talked to the pigs a lot in the last few days. We've been yakking their ears off, but nothing's really come of it. So I doubt they'll find anything new. Are they separating them? And he's going to start wandering over and just say, you can come along with. I just want to see what's going on here. Obviously, we still need to make sure the rest of the pigs that, well, they're ready for slaughter, and a happy pig is a tasty pig. So I want to make sure they're not going through anything. And he's going to sort of click his hands to several other workers who are already helping Carenza and Micah, and they're going to go over to him just ahead of you, Carenza, Micah, and Ziska. You're going to bear witness to him having just a quick sort of hushed, whispered conversation with them aside from you, where roll a check of some kind.
I've stumbled on something.
Yeah.
Roll something for me.
Right, so is it perception I'm doing?
Before we make this roll,
yeah,
it is technically interval time.
how is it?
Yeah.
Leave it in
We could make this
suspense
roll after interval time.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to take a short interval, guys, and then we will be back to playing. So feel free to take a break, get a snack, have a drink.
I shall be back.
Yes.
then.
Well, I'm going to get a cup of tea, and then I will be right back because my throat is
Okay.
parched.
Apparently, Claire Cat has already done some awesome fan art of the feather scene on Discord.
Oh my gosh.
There's already
log
fan
on.
art. Wow, that
I
was
am
really...
back. I am back. What is this?
There's
We-
fan art already on the Discord.
Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to see this later.
I
Is
had
it-
to come back
Wow.
for this.
Yeah, I can't get on Discord while I'm doing the
Oh,
live
that's
stream, but I can't wait to see
lovely.
this.
That's amazing. Given how quick that was, that's incredibly amazing.
Oh.
Hang on, don't. Whoa, hang on. I need to see this.
Is
Where is it? Where is it?
Sorry.
It's dragged everybody back. In the fan art
Oh,
channel.
fan art, of course. There's a stream for that.
There's a stream for that.
Oh, click on it.
You know what? I'm just going to say right now, I know we're on a break, but I think Claire Cat gets conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's transferable to other games and modes or life, but
Oh,
Claire Cat
Awesome.
has conviction.
That's Micah.
oh,
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
lovely. Thank you.
That's
for
awesome.
sharing.
oh, that's
That's really
awesome.
nice.
Thank you, Claire Cat.
Thank you, Claire Cat.
Right, now I really must get tea, so
Yeah.
I shall be back in a moment.
Celebrate everyone. Yay. Yes. I like fan art. I'm very glad we have a fan art channel because that's just ever since we created the fan art channel, it's been like more fan art. Yay. Yeah. And I believe there's also been some memes that have been created. Today, Claire Cat just said, today I learned horses have coffin-shaped faces. They do. From the side, anyway.
Mm.
I don't know if they do from the... I suppose they might do even from the front. Maybe.
I do know that horses cannot vomit, so if they have stomach issues, it's actually quite serious.
Yes, I've heard that too. They can actually essentially die from essentially a stomach bug.
Mm.
Yeah. Not so fun. Yeah, that's quite a sad thing to be talking about.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, everyone, let us know how you are because there's just the two of us. I don't know what else we can talk about. I am also always in awe of those that can draw another unique. I'm not amazingly good at it. I'm good at other things. I'm comfortable with the fact I'm not good at it, but I'm not very good at it. Claire Cat's awesome. KRM is awesome, and I don't know if Castellum's around, but Castellum is also quite good at art. We have quite a few people that have been posting fan art. I think at least those three. Pretty sure at least those three.
Yeah, it tends to be those three posting art on the Discord. So that's why, for another reason, if you're not on the Discord yet, you should definitely join it.
Yes.
To check out or share those art things if that is one of your strengths or something you're working on.
Yeah, I actually have some original KRM art framed. It's one of my favorite things that I own. I have some original art. That's very cool. Yeah. I'm plugging KRM today. I've just realized we've never actually plugged her art on the stream, and we really, really ought to. I don't know if she has a shop. I know she had a Facebook page, but we have been doing Comic-Cons. Yeah. Another unique. That's kind of sad and kind of funny at the same time. He said, okay, tell you how I am. Well, I woke up this morning, checked the obituaries, my name wasn't there. So I checked the list of lottery winners and my name wasn't there either. So I went to work. That sounds about right. I'm very glad your name wasn't there on the first list.
Yes.
Yeah. We're very glad about that. And sorry for not winning the lottery. To be fair, pretty much none of us ever do. It's kind of, the odds are not in our favor, let's say, when it comes to the lottery.
Although now like it almost like in direct opposition to that sentiment, I now have the song "Everyone's a Winner, Baby." But that's just how my mind works. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. On our stream, everyone's a winner, even if you're not when it comes to the lottery. There we go.
Yes.
Now I just made it work.
Would anybody like a floof interval?
Yeah, let's
Ooh,
do floof
okay.
interval.
Jakey, do you want yummies?
Of course,
Here he
Mum.
comes.
Where's the floof?
Oh,
There's the floof.
Hello.
There's the
Is it?
floof.
Good,
He's a good boy.
boy.
It's like his Greymane.
He's a very happy dog.
Good boy. Oh, you're so good.
Very big floof.
So gentle.
Got class, I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
He eats a lot more
I'm
tidily
trying to
than
get
I
a full
do.
size one out for you. Here we go. Gently, gently. Good boy.
Yeah, just to put his size into
Perspective. Yeah, your
into kind of
hands in there. Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
Let me just show you. This is my forearm. And I can just touch the behind his ear while his nose is level with my elbow.
Wow.
Yeah. Big floof.
Big floofy boy.
BFF. Big friendly floof.
Yes. Good boy. Should we have a couple more? Oh, okay, then we like head scratches. We like head scratches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two more. So that wasn't quite so gentle, was it? Okay. Did I not bring it quickly enough? Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Wait, wait, wait. There's a good boy. There's a good boy. Okay, last one. Good boy. There's my good boy. There's my good boy.
That's a happy face.
Isn't it a happy face? Big yawn. Oh, it's so tiring being loved, isn't it? Nice ear rub. Yeah. That's the ear rub's face. There's a good boy.
We do it again, Mom. That feels good.
Yeah. Loves a nice head scratch. You done? No more yummies. No more. No.
Oh,
No more yummies.
oh, that
I
immediate
know I've got
puppy
the
dog
bag over
look.
here, but I can't keep giving you yummies. No, I can't. No. Go on then. There we go. There we go. Go on, out you go. Go lie down.
Beautiful.
Go lie down. There's a good boy. There we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Bye bye, Blue.
Yeah, if he knows when I put the bag aside, he kind of watches it go, and I'm like, yeah, you're not fooled in the slightest, are you? He's a very clever floof, which has its pros and its cons.
Hmm. Oh,
Right.
excuse me.
I'm actually gonna have a snack.
Feel free. I did say to everyone, go get drinks, go get
Yeah.
snacks.
What is this role you wish me to make, OGM?
Oh, are we starting back up again?
Oh, sorry.
As long as no one minds Micah just
Snacking
chewing
in.
on a snail or something.
Oh, another unique has asked a good question, but as
Yes.
GM, do not know the answer to for.
I would say put it on Discord. Yeah, pop it on Discord in where would we put it? There's any of the
You
I
could
don't know
go in
which
the
one.
other
I don't know which
streams
one.
chat.
Our channel redemption point options.
Just put it in
recommend-
chat. Put it in chat on the Discord. That'll do.
Yeah,
No.
sorry,
There's
I
no
didn't
suggestions channel. There's a
respond.
questions channel. I don't know if there's a suggestions channel.
I don't
There's
think there's a suggestions channel.
There's
but
a
I'm not the
merch
best at keeping up.
suggestions. There's merch suggestions.
I'm sure if you put it
Really?
somewhere on the chat, someone
Yeah.
will see it.
Stick it somewhere in the Discord and we'll find it.
Stick
and
it everywhere in the Discord and we'll definitely see it. Just put it in every channel.
Just to make sure.
Copy paste it. But yeah, if everyone's ready to get going, we'll
Yep.
make this roll. So to remind ourselves, and as we've been a while, so Ziska, you are watching as someone. Good grief, it's been 2 minutes, I
Is
was-
having
yeah,
a hushed
Silas is having a quick
conversation.
conversation with a fewer bee hands, and you're just trying to get a sense of what's going on. So you can either take a perception check to work out sort of what the mood is. You can't take communications because they're not talking. You can take a
Yeah.
strength check if you want to just punch them.
Oh, don't think
You
I
know,
want
there are
to.
think
always
that's a-
options.
That's probably a bit violent for Ziska.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can take a dexterity check and just do a backflip to see if you gain their attention. But World's your oyster. What kind of check would you like to do?
Well, if I actually want to get a gauge of what's going on, I don't think punching them is going to elicit much necessarily. I don't think distracting them is necessarily going to get me the answer I want, unless I like flip into them and say, "Hey guys."
I mean, you
It's
do
talking
have
about-
dexterity with an acrobatics focus, so if you wanted to do a backflip right now, you could definitely pull off a really cool backflip, unless you roll
Don't
really
lie down. Ziska's about to do a backflip.
Well, I mean, I think if anything, you know, if I was going to do any flipping, I'd be like flipping like closer to them, and to say, so we didn't actually finish our conversations.
Do you have a stealth thing or anything so you can kind of slide closer and maybe overhear something?
That's not really
No,
my
that doesn't seem to be a stealth
focus.
thingy.
No, I'm more likely to hit you up front than I am to sneak and do
Jakey,
it.
go with Nana. Go on.
What do you want me to do? I'll try perception because I like obviously I've just entered this community and I don't know their ways and things like that. So but what I
Okay.
might do, yeah. So I think
Are
I'll
you
probably do
close
percep-
enough? So I was just going to
Oh, yeah.
say, you close enough? No, don't worry.
Yeah, no, like because if I am because actually I was thinking if I'm now close enough to Carenza and Micah, you know, I might be like, I'm speaking to this guy over here.
I
I'm
could
getting a
maybe
little
like
bit of a
glide
weird
overhead
vibe.
and see what I could hear.
Yeah, so like you know, I might do that. I might try and get my own gauge on the situation. But am I actually esteemed GM? Am I close enough to sort of like try and do a? Or is the psychic thing only one way? Does Micah have to instigate it?
Micah has to instigate, and I'd say at the distance you are at the moment,
Okay.
Micah would have to take a perception check of its own to see if
Okay.
they are aware that you're there, because you haven't made any signal.
Yeah.
that you're there.
Okay, so if they're talking, you know, I might just sort of like make it look like you know I'm just like greet them and say, hey, I'm over here now, but you know
I
I'm
got a
doing it
9.
with a purpose to try and open
Yeah,
up the
with a
chat.
9, you are too focused on what is going on at the moment with
Sorry.
with the pigs.
That's
So
okay. All
you
right,
aren't aware of Ziska at the distance you're at, unless Ziska really makes a racket and calls for you.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Well, it turns out I'm only a 9 on right. Well, apparently it doesn't look like I notice very much, but
I'm not checking the rules right now. No one's getting stunt points, are they?
No.
No.
no, I haven't got any
Badly.
stunt points, but yeah, I might just sort of like you know go, how's it going with the pigs? And my neighbors are going to be so straight, like freaked out if they're actually on the other side of this wall.
Okay. So
In which case,
I'm
now
gonna jump
Micah is paying
slightly as
attention.
Ziska goes.
Yeah.
Ziska yells, "How's it going with the pigs?" Because I'm going to have been so concentrating on talking to pigs. I'm just gonna like, what?
okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to turn around and hold 2 thumbs up because I think I'm doing something useful.
Yeah. I might
And
try
then
and
I'm
sort of,
gonna
like, try
and
and
then I'm
tap
gonna
my
talk
head.
to Ziska and say, is it really the pigs you're worried about, or is something else going on? Why are those guys whispering?
Well,
To be honest, by the time Ziska calls you that
Okay.
loud, they are no longer whispering, and you have no knowledge that they ever were, because
okay.
you didn't see when they were doing it. But as soon as Ziska shouts and gets your attention, Silas zips it, and that conversation is over, and they come over.
But they are quite huddled. I can see them huddling, and
Yeah,
somebody
you would
huddling.
see that they are huddled and a little way off from Ziska, but you have no way of knowing that they were in a private conversation or anything.
No more yummies for Jakey. No,
Okay.
sorry.
If
Time's over. No, that's mine. You can't have it. Sorry.
Micah's doing a very good job of acting like she's talking to the pigs there during
Yeah.
feeding time.
Yeah.
Stop licking me, damn it. Oh,
Oh,
you like a head scritch? Oh, I know someone else who
Yeah.
likes a head scritch.
Yeah.
I'm just going to scritch the big pig's head with my
Yeah.
beak.
I think
And then the pig wanders off and doesn't care anymore. Fine.
I think
Oh.
if Micah sort of like does make it clear that they're willing to open up communication, so like I'm getting like I might sort of indicate to Silas, say like the man, I don't know, I did give him a description, so the man who seems to be a bit more in charge of this group of men, getting a strange feeling from him. Have you? He seems to be a bit preoccupied with what you two are doing with the pigs. Have you and Corenza found anything that might cause him worry?
I
Yeah,
have told
apparently-
Micah that there's something wrong with the food, or the food is weird.
Something's up with the food. Quite a lot of the pigs say that the food's been tasting funny.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I wonder whether he has something to do with it.
We might need to get Greymane on the taste. I can go and have a look at the food.
Hmm.
Greymane and Marcus, they would be on their way back to you right now. So you can also see them coming from the distance, and they will come back to you. Greymane will stay at a bit of a distance from pigs at first because the pigs are naturally afraid of a wolf.
Oh,
But
that's good.
I
the
would probably.
farmers and all the staff, they are happy with Greymane's presence. They understand that she's a
Mhm.
Rye and have no issues with a Rye wolf wandering about the farm.
So I would probably speak to Greymane and say, we think might be something up with the food for the pigs. Would you mind checking it out with me? Because you'll know he might tell
Greymane
us
will
something.
nod. You'll need to get the assent of someone to go through the stalls with Greymane. I mean, you are talking about putting a wolf into a pig pen, so even as a Rye, the pigs aren't going to understand that.
Oh, we're talking about food in the pig pen. I thought there might be food in a store or something. that we
Technically,
could
we're going
look
to be
at.
watching. It's going to be the food that's been put in already. So you need to sniff the trough.
Yeah, but that's still in where the
in
pigs
with
are.
the pigs.
So.
Yeah.
In which case, I don't know if this is something that's going to fly, as it were. Could Greymane and I pretend to have an argument where she chases me into the pig pen?
You're still doing this at a gap at the moment, so nothing's
happened yet.
I'm going to roll some dice of my own at this.
Because I'm pretty sure the pigs would move sharpish if Greymane went in there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna get Faldin's back up because she's a no-nonsense kind of lady. She thinks we're messing about.
Maine is going to say that even though the people on the farm seem nice and friendly to her as a Rye, she is uncomfortable acting in any way that seems aggressive by chasing a person around and giving a bad name to her species who already suffer some way at the hands of things. So that's a no from her.
That's a very logical response. Fair enough.
She's not comfortable with
No, she's got a point.
I'm going to be completely oblivious to all this slight awkwardness going on, and I'm still going to be like, so what's these pigs and the ones that think the food tastes funny?
But I also have a question.
What's happened to these pigs?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a look at Raven's sense of smell, because I could go in surely and have. Well, we can locate. Ravens can locate carrion and so on, so they must be actually pretty good at sniffing.
Yeah, you are more than able to do that. I'm happy with that if you want to.
Okay.
I've just realised I all has to have the second sight. So
I have as well.
Lingering effects of Arcana. I might try and do that.
Well, I've got that as well.
So that have eaten funny
you can
food.
do that, and I can go in and see if I can smell anything in the food.
Okay.
And also check for Arcana while I'm there. If you check the pigs for Arcana, I can check the food for Arcana. Because the thing is, Faldin said right at the beginning that several pigs screamed no.
Yeah.
If none of them have turned out to be Rye, why the hell were they talking?
Yeah.
That sounds dodgy and possibly Arcana related.
Yeah. So the 30% that said the food is weird, I want to check them for Arcana.
Okay.
Right. And Silas, you're making enough noise about this that Silas and the others are going to unless you are way away in a huddle, they're going to know
I'm
what you're
assuming
talking.
we're doing
Well,
this
I
through
assumed
Micah's
we were
psychic
chatting
bond.
psychically.
Yeah.
We're chatting
Oh yeah,
psychically.
yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah.
Ziska hasn't. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I only shouted purely because I was
To
sort of
alert us to the fact
indicated
that people were
to-
approaching.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm gonna fly into the pen, and well, I'm not gonna fly. I'm gonna hop up to the fence and then drop down and walk over to the trough so as not to startle the pigs more than necessary. One of them
Okay.
keeps trying to lick me.
Yeah, and you are inspecting their food, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and Carenza, you are doing a check
On
on.
the pigs with second sight.
Right, would you like to do that check first?
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Oh, you
17
do it with-
points.
And
You do
6
it.
stunt
Nice
points.
stunt points. 17
Lush.
and max stunt points.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Wow.
So what you gonna do with them?
That was the second best roll you could have had.
Well, third best. Technically, she could have got 3 sixes. Well,
Oh,
or a
yeah,
5 and a
yeah,
6,
that-
or 2
That is the
sixes.
bronze medal position of roll.
That's awesome.
And you're on arcane stunts at the moment. Although I would
Yeah.
also allow, because of the situation you're in, I would also maybe allow exploration or roleplay stunts if you feel arcane aren't useful here.
Well, the only one in the arcane I use is the effortless arcana and just pass the fatigue test. Because
I
otherwise
mean,
they
that's
don't
always
really...
useful.
Hmm?
That is always useful doing that.
Yeah. I might just make sure I pass the fatigue test because at 17 I'm gonna do the check just fine. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just
okay.
automatically pass the fatigue test.
Okay, so you, cool as anything, just sweep over these pigs, and those because about 10% of all people in Aldous have some form of psychic ability. Those on the farm who have their own sort of abilities of the arcane, they're like, wow, that was some smooth reading of the area that just went on there. And you definitely get the sense from your roll that there has been an arcane signature over the pigs recently.
Okay.
There's a lingering after
Over the
effect
pigs
of
I've
an arcane.
separated or all of the pigs?
Because of your role and how well you did, you know that this is over all of the pigs.
All of the pigs.
Wow.
Okay.
And just, excuse me a sec, Raven, can you stop eating paperwork? You're a cat. You're not meant to eat paperwork. You're meant to eat cat food. Give me a
I
sec.
thought you were talking to me. I was like, I wasn't eating paperwork, I swear.
That's so Raven.
That's a Raven.
No, I am talking to...
This Raven.
Yeah, that's
Oh, look at
Oh.
those eyes.
this Raven, who for some
That
odd
looks
reason...
like a mini
is-
panther, not a raven.
It is a mini panther. Oh,
Well,
it's
this
a
mini
mouse
panther is
panther.
currently eating the corners of the paperwork which we have up on the desk, just sort of happily gnawing away at.
Why is a raven like a
Oh,
writing desk? It steals your
she's
homework.
beautiful.
You are beautiful, Raven, aren't you? You're very svelte. Not like your big
Aw.
brother Charlie, who's just a lump of fur.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
I'm going to let you down, and please don't eat the paperwork, because I need the paperwork.
You
There
don't
you
need the corners of the paperwork, though. Surely there's room
I
for
would
both.
like the corners. I'm pretty particular when it comes to sort of laying out my work. I do like things in a very neat and orderly way, so I would rather the paperwork be unchewed.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna communicate that to Micah.
Okay.
Or-
Micah, in the meantime, because of your, I mean, take a, yeah, actually you do need to take a test, please, for perception.
I did. Only got 11.
Okay. You got 11. Yeah, okay. You don't have a focus in smelling, do you?
I don't believe so.
It would be on your sheet if you had it as a focus.
My focus in perception is
No, you have
searching.
perception searching, so yeah, that's not. actually, even if I make that count there, that still doesn't get you anything. So yeah, you get the sense. Yeah, you're gonna get the sense that the food in the pig pen smells a little off, maybe, but that could just be that it's older food, or that it's and especially as actually this is your first time in real proper human society as a newly awakened Rye. You don't know much about pig food anyway, so now that I think about it. So as far as you're concerned, it smells a bit.
Yeah. I tried again and I only got 12, so I think I'm doomed on that one.
Yeah, no, I can't let you have another one on that.
No,
so
I know, but it's worth a shot.
The food smells a bit, and that's all you know.
It smells a bit dodge, but I don't know what pig food smells like. So, and they are, famous for eating anything. So,
Okay.
that said, if there's been Arcana cast and the food smells dodgy, I'm inclined to believe there's something dodgy going on.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay,
We still don't know why 30% of them think the food's weird, though.
Well, that's 30% who were able to communicate that the food smells weird. I don't know.
Or 30% who even noticed.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I've still separated them out.
Yeah.
Currently, you have 2 herds of pigs, a missing boy, a missing pig, and a huge mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So
Oh no, Greymane can't. Oh, I know what I can do.
Yes.
Thievery. I'm gonna try and steal a bit of the food and see if Greymane can get anything better off it.
Okay.
I just have to
that's quite an interesting way to do it.
do that. How do I do that?
You can take
Is it dexterity?
a check, so that would be a dexterity check, yes. And if you have again any focuses, click on the focus, so that adds to your roll.
I don't have a focus.
Oh, but you have great dexterity anyway, so I'll be very surprised.
Yeah.
If you...
16.
Yes, so you manage to, I'll make this opposed, there's plenty of farmhands around, maybe. And they are all, I will say as well, they are all intently watching these people who have
Yes.
out.
That
So
does make sense.
I will give them a little bit of an advantage on this roll. Okay, so that's actually really good. Okay, one of the farmhands, not anyone you know, but one of the farmhands will say Midge, just points and goes, "Oh, the Rye's eating the pig food," and is just going to sort of go like this, and sort of there's going to be whispering that sort of, I thought Rye wouldn't do other things. Have I Raven eating pig food? And I'm not going to let you do this, Micah, because you're busy doing this actual feeding.
I'm gonna just have a moment and be like, oh yeah, she does that. The pigs. Can you tell me what these pigs have in common? And I'm just gonna try and distract. So just ignore Micah. Just the pigs. Back to the pigs.
Okay, Ziska, are you doing anything?
Probably asking Micah what the hell he's doing.
Well, I probably would sort of like notice that Micah is slightly alone to themselves and they have their own reasons. And, who am I to question Arise ways and motives? I mean, if Marcus and Greymane have come back, I would have to, Ziska would probably feel that she needs to break her attention from what Carenza and Micah are doing and turn towards, because obviously the main task is finding Aaron and Wilhelmina. So she's probably going to ask Marcus and Greymane, have you found anything that Greymane can get a good enough scent on for us to try and locate the boy?
Okay. In that case, I will let all of that happen. So one at a time then. Carenza, your attempts to shield Micah from observation meet with mixed success. The farmhands are very bemused by you detectives and your interesting methods of eating pig food for finding missing boys. And they will watch as Micah flies away. You've got no way of stopping that now. They have seen it and it has happened, and they are just like, oh, he's going to share it with the wolf? Yeah, they're both going to eat the pig food. So they're off in their own little world. Corenza, you're just trying to modify them. Ziska, because you are over by Greymane and Marcus, they're going to tell you that they were able to follow. They went up to Marcus's room and found that it was pretty untouched. Like everything in the room seemed in place. If he left, because Marcus obviously is operating on the idea that Aaron is like him and has Rye bonded, he says he must have only left with clothes on his back, not bothered getting any supplies of any kind. There are backpacks in his room which he hasn't taken. He basically he's gone off with just the shirt on his back by the looks of things.
More likely he was taken then.
And they were able to follow a scent of a pig on the road, some ways up from the farm, but it terminates after a while, and just sort of over the course of a long day, the scent's gone after a certain point. But you've got a general.
It petered out rather than abruptly terminating.
I'd probably ask Greymane that, did the scent abruptly
no,
stop?
it does end. It just sort of stops.
It abruptly ends.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Something happened to him.
Yeah.
Okay. So so I think that
was they said the scent of the pig. Did they follow Marcus's scent and not Marcus? Aaron's scent with the pig?
Just out of interest, are you asking all of this with the food still in your mouth?
Well, I'm yes.
I know you're psychic. I'm
doing the psychic thing because since everyone noticed, I decided that I'm not gonna give the food to Greymane totally obviously right now. I'm gonna pretend that I did actually eat it.
So you're just holding the pig food in your mouth at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Feel like
this is
might be in order.
Quite a test of my willpower, to be honest, because
yeah, in fact, I'm going to make
I'm
going to make you take a willpower check, Micah, to see if you can do this. Either that or Constitution, whichever you prefer. Willpower or Constitution.
1, willpower 0. Okay, we're going to do Constitution. Oh,
yeah,
I think I can do it.
You have stunt points. This would count as a role-playing stunt, I would say.
Okay, let's see. Enrage. Well, I don't need to enrage anyone. I don't need to flirt.
I mean, flirting is always an option.
Yeah, but I don't see how it helps me in this.
Not in this situation. We can't flirt with the food in your mouth.
No, well, I could. I'm psychic after all, but
I don't think it talks back.
I'm thinking maybe just either sway the crowd or passionate inspiration, where it inspires me to a brief act of daring or greatness, as in not eating the food that's in my mouth.
So you are so inspired by your ability not to eat pig food that you
gain a plus
feel galvanized. I can take on anything because I managed to keep pig food in my mouth
and not eat it.
You know what? Yes, I'm quite impressed.
That is a good option.
Yeah. Gain a +1 bonus to my next action with a further +1 for every 2 additional stunt points spent.
You could spend 4 and get +2 to your next action.
I was going to say, because I need...
You'd get +3, wouldn't she? Have we got 5?
I've got 5 stunt points.
Yeah. That does mean you can also mix and match. So you could have passionate inspiration and you could have others up to 5.
Okay, so you could have sway the crowd, which uses 2, and then get +2 from passionate inspiration for the other 3.
I would say as well, looking at it, I'd be quite happy for you to take and another thing where you manage to weave a second thrust of conversation into the primary interaction that calls for the test if your description supports it. So you're psychically communicating this stuff to everyone. I would allow for and another thing, because you're sort of mixing in a new detail straight away. I would say that you could allow that to quickly slip the food onto the floor without anyone noticing for Greymane and quickly just go, "Psst, by the way, what's this?"
That's exactly what I do.
Okay.
Yes, we're chatting to everyone, and I kind of shuffle around so that my gorgeous big black shininess hide, and Ziska's feet hide me from the watching crowd, and I drop the food in front of Greymane and ask her, "This smells kind of weird. What do you think?"
Okay, you are passionately inspired by your ability to do that as well, obviously. So remember, you've got a plus. It only costs 2 for another thing. So let's just say you've got a +2 bonus to your next roll. So just remember that for yourself, because I'm not going to.
Awesome.
But you drop the food onto the floor as you're doing your conversation about everything else and what's been learned. As soon as you do, though, even though the farmers don't know what's going on or see what's happened, they do see Greymane immediately raise her hackles and sort of do a sort of springing jump in the air and jump back from the food and go, "Oh, what is that? Oh." And she sniffs it again and goes, "Oh, who's been killing man? Who's been killing people?"
Oh, feeding people to the
And
pigs.
she's like, you've been eating. I mean, I know ravens do it, but ooh. And she shudders from her tail to her nose.
Just to be clear, Greymane, this is food I took from the pigs, not that I just,
This is the pig's food.
yeah.
Greymane is going to perk up at that and sort of sniff the air a bit more carefully, and she has very strong sense of smell anyway, and she goes, "Oh yes, I can smell it. Dead flesh all over that place. What is going on here?"
I think we should probably stick together.
Yeah, I'm getting the sense that this could go really badly. I'm almost at the point where I might go invisible. Just warning everybody.
How far are you from Chala, Ziska?
That's well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I probably left this.
Shall I go and find Chala and bring her to you?
That could be helpful in case we need to make
a hasty exit.
Yeah, she does know me. I'm going to take off and fly in the direction of Chala.
I'm probably going to be like back off a little bit, get a little closer to Ziska, because I'm going to be feeling a bit like this is not going where I expected to. I thought we were finding a missing boy. Yes, I'm going to get closer to everyone that can help me fight.
Yeah.
And very much be like, I think I'm done with the pigs now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A few of the farmhands, Midge and Owain, are going to look quite confused and quite worried by what's going on. They've just seen the Rye Raven just fly off out of nowhere, and they can tell easy enough that something's wrong. So those two particularly sort of inch closer to you with worried expressions.
Are those the two that came with, that had the whispered conversation?
No, those aren't the two which had the whispered conversation. Those are the two who were originally helping you as soon as you got to the pig pen.
Yeah.
Okay, they're the two helpful ones.
Yeah, I think I'd as soon as after Greymane sort of stated what was in there, I think Ziska would have immediately looked over to Silas and the farmhands that he had been speaking with to note how they've responded to her reaction,
right? Okay.
To figure out what she's going to do next.
In that case, because you said a very golden word that I wanted to hear there, when you look in that direction, you notice that Silas isn't immediately visible to you.
Ah.
And in fact, if you take a perception check,
Oh, that's because that would still have us then, but I'll give it another try.
checks are going really well today so far.
That's okay. You never know. Boom. Ah, even worse than last
Oh
time.
no! Can you use like conviction or something?
Oh, I could. I well, I haven't got loads of it.
Remember your conviction, people. You have
But-
it. You
right,
I
use it.
haven't
okay.
needed it so far
Hang
today.
on. So what can I do with that? Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna spend one conviction to re-roll one of those dice. So I think I would like to re-roll the one. So do I just? How do I just re-roll? Do I just re-roll
Do
it?
/R 1d6. The
Okay.
space between
Okay.
/R and.
Is it only on conviction? Is it only 1d6 you get to re-roll? It's not the whole roll, is it?
No, it
One
says
roll.
you get you to re-roll any one roll of the dice you make. One conviction would. Oh, I could spend two to re-roll the one and the two.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I did always expect that to mean one roll of the dice is in one roll of the collective three dice
Yeah,
together.
Yeah,
It
just
says
roll again.
any one roll,
yeah. It says
implying that it's any one dice.
yeah, because it says one conviction point
I suppose
allows
the
you
amount
to
of
re-roll
conviction you
anyone.
get, because you're supposed to get conviction quite often. And
Yeah.
by the way, actually, people have been role playing wonderfully, and I've not been doing my job as GM that well. So for that, can everyone give themselves just 2 conviction for how you've done so far today?
Oh,
Yay!
you.
One conviction is for Marcus and Greymane and becoming family. Another
Yay.
conviction to all of you for great role playing, and I will give a third to Micah as well for just general awesomeness this session and for holding entrails in her beak.
Yay!
Okay. Nice.
I'm good at holding entrails in my beak.
Okay, so just to clarify, then I'm just rolling the one.
Yeah,
Well,
just
you said you were going to
one,
use 2
unless you
conviction
use more
points to roll
dice to
2.
re-roll. So choose which dice you're re-rolling.
Okay, so we're saying that I can't spend 2 to re-roll 2 of them.
Yeah, you can spend
Oh.
2 conviction to re-roll the 1 and the 2.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So it's /R space 2d6 then.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
okay.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
No. It's okay because it still shows me what the dice are.
Okay.
I was worried that it would just
Alright.
give you a number and not give me what.
Well, I improved slightly, so that's an 11. Ugh,
You're at 11 now, are you?
yeah.
No, you're
No, you're at
Am I
9.
not?
9.
You only
Really?
added
You only
1
gained
point.
1.
Oh, did I?
Oh.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm sorry, that has not done anything for you, unfortunately.
Okay. So he is not immediately.
You were just aware that Jatos seems to.
Oh,
Jatos? No,
Silas.
Jatos is Marcus's father. Even I'm getting names wrong.
Silas?
Silas has gone to parts unknown, and you've got Midge and Owain coming towards you, who seem pretty worried and concerned.
Right.
What about the other 2
yeah,
farm workers that Silas was whispering with?
They are still around as well, and you will notice that they're looking in a direction. They're looking in a direction which could mean whatever it means,
right
like towards the main housing area.
Right. I think what Ziska would do is she would, noticing that the Owain and Midge seem concerned and knowing that, Pauline doesn't really need an extra issue on her plate, that, this is her farm and she needs to know something dodgy is going on. So,
Sorry. Sorry, recently the Claire Cat's posted some new fan art and it's the raven pooping, and she's just said, "Caw, mother truckers."
Yeah. Nice.
Sorry to interrupt with that, but it just,
I think Ziska would, so like indicate they need to come quickly, say, get Falden, human meat is being fed to the pigs. And then she's going to stalk, like literally march right over to these farmhands, and she's going to show that she is not going to take no for an answer, because she's a stubborn young lady. And she said, I know what you're about. You tell me where he is now.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I have found Chala.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, Chala, I think Ziska might need you soon. Would you come with me, please?
Charla does not understand you.
Okay, I'm going to do the psychic thing, worry, and the idea of human.
You don't have psychic communication with animals.
I don't. In which case, I'm just going to grab her rein, or I'm going to nuzzle her a bit and then grab the rein and kind of fly with it and hope that she
You
gets.
will
the
allow
meeting.
this, and you can fly lead
Yeah.
over.
Okay.
It will take a bit longer than normal, though, for you, because
Yeah.
of just
You're a
being
raven.
going slowly with flying, so it's going to take you a bit of time because you don't get to build any
In
momentum.
fact, then I'm going to land on her shoulders, but kind of jump up and down once she's moving so that she keeps going.
Okay, yeah, but I'll keep her moving. She'll
Yeah.
go at a slow trot. She really isn't aware what's going on, so she'll just go at a slow.
If I flap my wings, I think she's going to go faster.
Yeah,
If you
Ravens have
want to
like
go
a 4
faster.
foot, have like a 3 or 4 foot wingspan or something, so I think she'll go faster if I flap my wings.
yeah. Either way, though, you manage to get Charlotte over, and Ziska, when you march up to the other two, they seem quite afraid. It's like, oh, we want no trouble. We were just confused as to where Silas ran off to. He suddenly said he was needed somewhere, so we were a bit confused. And one of them, they're both looking quite terrified of you at the moment, Ziska, and they both got their hands up, and one was going like, if you're suspecting Silas of anything, we have no knowledge about it. He was just asking us before about what was going on with the pigs. We just thought he was worried about them losing their heads over things, or being worried or concerned. We don't know.
So which direction did he go?
He went that way up to his house where he lives, to the bunks. Owain and Midge, meanwhile, who have kind of zoomed in on Ziska, because Ziska's being the most dominant force here, are going to come over and sort of try and defuse it and be like, I'm sure these two have nothing to do with anything, but if you're thinking that Silas has anything to do with whatever's happened to poor Aaron, we do know that he has problems with his debts.
Silas?
Yeah, Silas. He's a he likes the gambling, he does, and he frequently goes out at nights, obviously only his free time, to the South Bend Tavern, and he's racked up quite a debt there. So it's not like him. He's not a bad man, but if anything's going on, I don't know what you guys have got so worked up about, but if anything's going on,
I'm going to say to them, someone's been feeding actual people to your pigs.
People?
Actual people. They've been eating people.
One of the people is going to just throw up immediately. Owain and Midge are going to hug each other and look rather distressed, and the other one is just going to shake their head and sort of do a sort of long circular walk where they have to just sort of walk away from you for a moment and then come back in.
Okay. I'm going to assume those reactions are genuine. They didn't know. Is there anyone that didn't react?
No, everyone who is there present at the moment is stunned and horrified.
Yeah.
Great. Good.
Yeah. Okay.
We're safe right now then, actually.
Yeah.
Relax for a moment. I think we need to tell whoever's in charge.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'll be like, we need to go. Who was it? Zelena?
Falden.
I don't know, why did I think Zelena? Falden. I think we need to tell Falden. I know, and what we know about her son, that essentially her grandson rather has been taken.
Okay, so you're going to Falden now, are you?
think that's what I'd suggest, but I probably will still look to Ziska for decision making.
Yeah, I think.
Ziska wants to go find Silas.
Yeah, well, I think because has Micah arrived with Chala, or am I still waiting?
Hasn't had the full amount of time yet. No, I'm going to
Right.
say.
Okay. I'd probably no.
But don't forget, you can head up to the thing, and then I can.
Yeah.
This what is a Carenza can stay behind, or even Marcus or Greymane.
Yeah.
I don't think we should split the group.
True.
Yeah, I'd say I'd probably say we need to make sure that Falden and Rian and Elaine kind of like we need to know, Falden needs to know that someone has been messing with the food of the pigs, and that Rian and Elaine need to know that it's likely that Aaron and Wilhelmina have been abducted.
What about if Greymane goes up to check out where
Yes.
Silas went?
Yes. Yeah, like I would.
Greymane could follow Silas for us.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
I would think that was a good idea. Could like can you do so? But like, well, obviously like checking with Marcus that we.
Okay,
Maybe
so
that's
you're sending
Greymane.
Greymane after Silas.
Yeah, so
I
that.
mean, not in the sense to confront him, in the sense
Yeah.
to figure out where he went for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where he went. He went to his bunkhouse. That's where the
Right, well,
people.
to make sure he doesn't leave, even if all she does is
Yeah.
trap him in the doorway or a window or something. Into...
Yeah.
That puts her
Yeah.
in danger.
Yeah.
Sorry?
That puts her in danger.
Marcus,
she's
by the
warm.
way, is still there with Greymane, and they are bonded. Marcus will go with her.
Right.
Yeah. So can you? I'd probably say to.
Just to keep an eye on him then.
Yeah, to Owain and Midge. Say, can you show Marcus and Greymane
Marcus
where
Greymane.
where Silas's bunkhouse is, and we need to. He's needed for further questioning. He should
Don't
not
let
be
him
allowed
leave.
to leave.
Yeah, let the farmhands do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the
Yeah.
farmhands to
So
do it.
Greymane and Marcus will go with Midge and Owain to the bunkhouse and follow after Silas, and you go to.
The rest of us go to.
And
Yeah.
are you just basically communicating everything you've learned?
Presumably you're going to meet
She-
us going because we.
She seemed genuinely panicked, so I think I would assume, to be honest with her,
Yeah.
assuming we are alone with her.
Mm,
And Aaron's parents.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is-
Rian and Elaine will be with Falden. If you tell them to back off to have a private conversation with Falden, they will back off.
I don't know. I wouldn't specifically. I would leave that up to Ziska.
Yeah, I think if we know that Rian is meant to be taking over from Falden, it would make no business sense for her not to be aware that there's been something dodgy going on on the farm. So I think it would be like Ziska would just think it would be beneficial to make them aware that there is this issue. There could be a link, like and say that Silas's behavior has been suspicious, and he needs to be questioned further as to his part in what's going on here.
Okay, so you're going to take Falden aside separately then, is the decision.
No, I was quite happy for
All three of them?
for Falden and Rian and Elaine to be privy to that stuff, because we were going to
So they're all privy to everything and you're telling them everything?
I think so. Yes.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I'm getting a lot of meowing from my
Sorry.
from Charlie at the moment on my end, so it's all it's cutting into everything you're saying. It's all like words. Charlie has the longest meow in the world. Like oftentimes when he meows, I usually finish with a kind of explosion sound at the end. 'Cause it's kind of like meow.
Doppler effect.
I don't know. Can you hear him from
Yep.
where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, he just has. Ever since I know I'm deveining, but ever since we got him, I don't know if we got him too young, maybe, because we did get him from a pet shop, and they said he was sort of old enough, but he was very small when we got him. I think he just never quite lost the mummy kitten kind of thing, because he just meows for everything. all the time. He's a very meowy cat, very needy, but we love him. Anyway, so you tell Falden everything. You tell Falden and Rhea and Elaine all that you've learned about Silas and what's going on. If you want to make perception checks as they hear what you have to say, because we're loving perception.
I'm there as well, I'm guessing,
good.
by
I
this
haven't
point.
done
Yeah, you're there now as well. You've
Yeah.
for everyone.
I haven't done a perception check, but I'm going to be quite wary, so I'm going to do one. How do I do a perception check? Click on perception.
Click on perception.
Oh, I got
10. You
I
got
got
stun
19.
points. 19
got
and
6
6
stun
stun
points.
points.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
That would be a role-playing or exploration stunt for you.
And Ziska got 2 stun points and a 9.
Oh, and I get a +2 on my next thing. Does that mean I got 21 in total?
You
Not that I
got,
really
yeah,
need
you've
it.
got 21 there.
Good grief, man.
With 6 stun points.
Literally for you at this moment, Micah's eyes suddenly glow with the wisdom of the universe, and for a shining second, it is like Micah is an all-knowing raven god. Odin, the All-Father from Asgard, has made you his personal one-eyed raven for a moment.
Okay, so what can I use those points for again?
I don't even know. Exploration role-playing stunts are always the sort of slightly weird ones in the bunch because they're always a bit sort of like hit or miss. So role-playing stunts, I mean, you could new friends. So the way you handle this, you could use this to get on better terms with the family and make them more willing to trust you. You could. You know what would be a really interesting one for you to take? Exciting opportunities. And I'll tell you for why. This is one which isn't going to matter much now, but when I read it to you, this is one of the things I love about Blue Rose being a long-term game and plot.
Oh yes, that
Action impresses or inspires an NPC in the encounter, or some dignitary who could logically hear about your actions. While there is no immediate effect, this may lead to some important group or character offering you future patronage, membership of an exclusive organization, an invitation to a restricted event, or some other significant future opportunity.
Yeah, we'll do that one
That's
then.
cool.
Yeah. And then I've
That's
still
Okay.
got 2 more.
I'm going to have to make a note of this because it also depends on sort of what they have heard. So people know, Falden and all that, know that you're investigating. They know that you are working with a diplomat. So we have an exciting.
Oh yes.
Okay.
You could use passionate inspiration again and carry on another point to your next test.
Yeah, you can carry on that chain. There's nothing to say you can't, unless there is. 'Cause I'm not reading it right
Yeah.
It would only give you a +1, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll. Yeah, but I've got 2 points left, so actually I could use 2
yeah,
and
it
get
doesn't-
+2.
you'd need 3.
Oh yeah, it
to
would only
get-
give me +1 next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I put down the exciting opportunities for you. And anyway, so they are stunned by what you've been able to discover so far, and stunned in a much more worse way about what you have discovered about the pig pen. You can tell from your great perception, you can tell that they are all horrified and knew nothing of this. Rian is crying into Elaine's arms to think that this got by under her nose as she's trying to take over the farm. The worry, obviously, between them immediately is that this could be Alan and
Wilhelmina.
yeah, no, that's not what I was thinking. I was about to say something, but I've just realized Greymane and Marcus are not with them right now, but you could say something to comfort them.
Yeah.
Well, we know that Aaron and Wilhelmina left the farm, don't we?
Yeah.
Because Greymane. So that
Greymane would have
indicate-
picked up their scent. I think we'd know if they were fed to the pigs.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we don't think they're dead. We think they're
we
just
don't
taken.
think they're
Maybe they
dead at
witnessed
all.
it.
and that may be why they left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this comes as some comfort to them, but Faldin, particularly the Grand Matriarch of the farm, wants answers, and she is going to start marching you all over to find Silas once it's
That's what I was
aware
expecting
that.
to happen next anyway. So yay!
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think with my stunt points, I want to do Pashta inspiration, because I imagine this is getting me quite riled up, and to sort of, just in case, I think this is going to think, just in case Silas attempts to make a dash for it, she's going to do, because it says you do something great or daring, she's going to do like an acrobatic kind of like launches herself and lands, quite expertly and deftly onto Charla. And it like heads straight over to the bunkhouse riding Charla. So if she has to, chase him down, basically, she's already ready to do that.
Okay, that is fine. So you get over to the bunkhouse and you do find Silas, who is, to put it mildly, a blubbering mess on the floor.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, he is on the floor. You've got Greymane there, hackles raised, baring her teeth. Marcus is doing his best human version of that. And the farmhands are looking on disapprovingly. And Silas is there with his head in his hands going, I didn't mean it to get this far. This was never meant to be the way of it. And he is looking beside himself.
Good.
Discus
just gonna
feels
sit
really
down.
pleased.
I'm gonna sit down on the edge of a bed or floor or something and just wait for everyone to tell the story, because I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do.
I'm going to go over to Carenza and land on her shoulder, because she looks like she needs a bit of comforting right now.
Disco is secretly pleased that to see like Marcus's mettle, and that he's trying to show that he's like almost like an equal, worthy of his partnership with Greymane, and that she'll make a note to mention that to him once when a suitable opportunity. But Faldin sort of is obviously coming across, so she's sort of like going to say, you need to explain yourself, like pull yourself together, you need to explain yourself. The safety of Aaron is top priority here.
Okay, so he sort of nods and says, I didn't have anything to do with Aaron and Wilhelmina's disappearance. Or, oh God, I hope I had no part in that. I have a gambling problem, okay? I go down to the South Bend, I spend a little too much money, and I got into debts, really bad debts with the Silence. And he looks at you all expecting you to know something, and the rest of the farm hands seem quite appalled by this name when you hear it. But he's continuing on at a pace, so you don't have time to question him at the moment.
Okay.
So you're just aware that others are kind of shocked to know that he's involved with the Silence. I rang up such debts with them. They were going to break my fingers, and then they gave me a deal. I can barely even stand to say it, but they needed to deal with someone. They killed a merchant, Horst Drover, who was refusing to help them smuggle wares into the city, and they needed a way to get rid of the corpse. And, well, I had no part in how they actually put him in that state, but my responsibility was to feed Horst to the pigs so that there would be nothing left of him as evidence.
When was that? I'm going to ask one of the us people so that one of you can ask.
I mean, you can still ask Silas directly. You can still.
Oh yeah, true. Because was it when did the corpse get fed to the pigs?
I started putting it into their feed about a week ago, And needless to say, I was panicked when we heard the shout, when we heard that cry of no, and realized that one of them might be becoming awry. I was so worried that they would say what had happened and what they had been eating for the past weeks, and no, but I didn't know what to do about it. I told the people at the Silence to protect me, but they wouldn't have any part of it. They were so angry and they wanted me to deal with the pigs, but I didn't know how, and they said I needed to do something to Aaron, but I wouldn't. So
But
I
you-
just
whoa,
ended
whoa,
up
whoa, whoa,
doing
whoa, whoa,
Where does
whoa.
Aaron fit into this story?
Do something to Aaron?
just to get him out the way. I said that the boy was constantly hanging around with the pigs, and so they just, so that's when even before then, I was saying to the bosses that they should keep him away from the pig pen before the slaughter. I was just trying to make sure he didn't stumble across anything he shouldn't, that was all that I meant by it.
Where have
Sounds
you
like they've
been
taken
keeping?
him-
Where have you been keeping the corpse? If it's been the rest of the corpse, if it's been taking you a week to feed it to the pigs, is there anything left?
I don't know. The corpse was given to me in bits to begin with. I just shoveled it all into their feed.
Well, where have you been keeping the bits?
So they've been coming every day for a week? With
No,
bits of-
no, all of it's in their feed. I guess it's just taking some time to get through.
Oh, okay.
You put
it's
a
in the
week's
feed.
worth of pig food in the pen? Okay.
No, as in it's taken them a week to get through the food he made up.
Yeah,
Right.
so
And
basically
added
he
the
put all the
dead
bits
thing.
into the pig's feed, as in
Right.
the bags, and the bags that
Right.
have been distributed. So bits of horse has been distributed to the pigs over days.
Right. I still think we should go and look at the bags of feed.
You're
I
not going to
don't think
find
it's
much
gonna
in
tell
there,
us anything
Silas
else at
says.
this point.
You're just going to find pig feed with bits in.
Well, I'm wondering if Aaron went. Aaron must have seen something. That must be
Aaron's
why he
seen
left.
something. Aaron's been
Yeah.
taken, I think, because he saw something, or because they thought he would see something, because Silas said,
But it looks like he left the farm initially under his own steam because Greymane tracked the scent up the road.
"That's true." He could have been following someone though.
Well,
Mm.
I mean, I don't know whether I'm not trying to metagame, but obviously Carenza and Micah have learned that there's been people. Do I know about the people hanging about, seen hanging
Yeah,
about?
we've heard about the
we'd have
travellers.
passed on the traveller
Okay.
information to you.
You know.
Not that we like to racially profile. In
Oh
this
no, and I
group,
wouldn't.
but
I would no. I
they
wouldn't
were
want to.
local at the time.
They also
Actually-
might have seen something.
They might have seen something. Yeah, they might have rescued Aaron.
That's also a
Aaron might have
possibility.
flagged them down and said, "Please get us away from here."
Silas is going to suggest at this point that to know the Silence's motivations is a very hard thing, but if you want your answers, your best bet is at the South Bend. That's where they run an operation to lure people like me in with their gambling.
So who are they? Who are the Silence?
One of the farmhands will say the Silence is a rather nasty little, I guess you could call them a faction. Some would call them a cult. Some would call them a mob who have risen up after the Queen's rise, who seem intent on questioning and undermining her rule. And no one on the farm knows much about their agenda, but they're generally disliked in the city and people have a very dim view of them.
Okay.
And they are not a legitimate organization. They are an illegal group. But exactly what they do, no one can tell you here, not even Silas. Like Silas, even though he's working for them, he's just being coerced into a job because he's in debt.
Right. Guess.
But he
next
says that you should look for a person called Nat Crowell, who is the tavern keeper at the South Bend, and he turns a blind eye to all that the Silence are doing there. He'll be able to tell you more.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds like next stop is the South Bend, but probably another day.
I'm going to
Yes.
say probably another day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's probably a good place to stop the stream.
That was a really cool session.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Mighty
Thank you
GM.
very much for letting me continue to adventure in Aldis.
It's awesome. It's a lot more role playing and a lot less moving tokens around a Roll20 board.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
And
There's
I have
definitely-
nothing against moving tokens around a Roll20 board, I have to say, but
Yeah.
I really like this as well as a different way of doing it. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, we have. I'm gonna have to find sort of ways to put in more screens because we have not changed the screen once. Literally, everyone watching the stream has had the same picture of the same
Yeah.
shack for 3 hours.
We could change the layout and we can actually just make it us. So it's bigger versions of us filling the screen rather than
You know what I would love? I would love for when we're in just sort of role play mode and there's just nothing particular that you need to see, to have just sort of fan art of our characters just on
I
the
was just
boat.
going to say, actually, fan
Yeah.
art would be a
All the
really good
characters
one.
together, just sort of in a sort of striking walking or looking around pose.
yeah. That would be cool. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. And Blue Rose will be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully Brian will be back with us. And I think our Monday stream is Story Squires.
Yay!
I think that's where we're at in the program. Sometimes I get a bit lost. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Which one
Yeah,
have we
yeah.
just done?
Monday
Basically,
is Story
there will be more
Squad.
Gilded Mimic coming up.
It will be Gilmore Gilded Mimic. Yep. Yes. Cool. I think that's all to say. Please follow us if you're not already. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, because they're not the same thing. And yeah, tell other people about us if you're enjoying us, because that would be cool for other people to find out about us, because we're not advertising. And the only way we make money for this is if people tell other people.
Yay!
Yay. Cool. Night, everybody.
Really
See you next
awesome.
time.
Bye.